say the
Fulton,
worst.
I've already
Say
had
it
access
again.
Not to be
to level
racist or
5
anything.
spells.
Alright, everybody
If you
crease
give me
a
that word
little.
again, Dante, no one's gonna freak. You know my favorite thing last session. I watched
Yes.
through it today.
I
And
get
it's
2
just
level 5s now.
she said the F word. She's like, "Oh no, we're
I get an
demonetized," and I go,
I get
"Oh
an
please,
arcane
Dante said
tradition.
the F word like
Oh,
like
that's
the
why
N word
level
like 4
10's
times."
nice.
They're like, you got
Tradition
so
gets us.
upset.
I was like,
You're
no, I
"No,
didn't."
I
What does this mean? So I can
You black
add
out every time you say it. It's crazy.
I can add my intelligence
Like
modifier
my
to
racism
1
takes
damage
over.
roll of any wizard evocation spell. So does that just mean like 1 time?
Because your evocation wizard, right,
Yes.
CJ? Here, let me pull it up on my.
I am. It's the best one in my opinion.
You're
fine.
wrong, but it's okay.
Don't look at me playing a new Gale playthrough. I need
What's
to
up?
romance
Oh,
the
you know.
wizard.
I never make Gale an evocation wizard. It's a waste of
God.
his talents.
I brought this up earlier.
make him
This is
divination
kind of
and you
a hard
become
stop
happy with
session.
yourself.
We're gonna get as much
Divination
done.
is the best.
Because
I think that's the one I did.
there's a thing I want to do next session, but I kind of wanted Dylan to be here for it, so
Sure.
we're gonna do as much as we can, and if we get to that hard step, we'll stop. So this is gonna be more of an intermission session.
So what you're saying is feel free to
No.
fuck
I
around
almost
as much
got
as we
a little
want.
thingy. The flatbread.
You would have been way cooler.
They're pretty good.
There's this thing that happened when I watched. There's this anime I really like called Gintama.
What?
It's all dick and poop jokes the whole show.
Never heard of it.
But it gets to this point where suddenly it's just serious arcs for the rest of it. We're getting to that point.
Damn it!
Joke's on you, we can still do dick and poop jokes, even when it's serious.
Yeah, the NPCs can get serious. We're the party.
It's gonna start hurting you. Alright. Everyone's here. Do we have a melody?
this?
Yo,
We got ourselves
What is that,
Beckett.
rubber?
Beckett of water.
Beckett the water.
Beckett the water.
Beckett the
I
alcohol.
would like to drink out of you.
That's so weird.
Amber.
drinks
Present.
out of a bucket.
Modric the Rafted.
That cracked me up so bad when I saw it in chat. It said Modric. I'm like,
Modric the
what?
Rafted.
Yeah.
I'm like, who
And
called
then
him this?
freaking Chizzy Wizzy. The Chizzy Glizzy.
Chiz whiz.
Meow.
We are out. We are out church tonight.
Take me to church.
Evidently, we didn't listen to Hosier today.
Take church to me. Oh, never mind.
It's crazy. I wish. Isn't it weird that Hoyer made like one song and then stopped?
And then
That's
just stop.
crazy.
Yeah.
No. Actually, it's a pretty popular song. So it's
Yeah, no, I'm pretty
No,
sure just the one.
Just that one.
It was just the one.
I definitely did not hear you playing another one.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did write just their second song just recently. I forgot about
Oh,
that.
cool.
Inspiration takes time.
Oh my god.
He's too busy being a lesbian.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, who wants inspiration? Sorry, Fulton, you might be in trouble for this one.
What I do?
At some point in the desert, back in Route 2, we ended up in an outpost. What number was that outpost?
69. Ew.
Nice.
I was thinking Outpost
67
13.
13 was your answer, 69 is yours. Where are you at, Caleb?
Get on my blind side.
I don't know.
Is it 30
Oh,
something?
is it 67 OD? Is that it?
No, that's the name of the freaking Orids that were kept down there.
That's right.
That's a person, you dumb dumb.
I bring this specific question up because we
87.
talked about it last session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 67 OD was a long time ago.
No. Correct answer is Outpost 04.
Ah!
I
I
was
was closest.
I was so
It's
close.
fucking shit. It's got like a penis cut out of it.
Okay.
Love that.
Everybody looks.
Alright, friends.
You like dick.
Yeah, it's about the right size.
Previously on Don't Trust Me, the party is forced to confront Dogma about the death of the civilians at the bed. Jormungand brings Titus's corpse out to be questioned. It's brought to light that the party is affiliated with direct orders from one of the Arknights of the Legion, and the Legion claim any sentiment they can in regards to the war. Dogma claims his intent to cross the border and kill anyone with a uniform. The party has left the night of debauchery to decide if they wish to join Rossadolo or go their separate ways. Back in their rooms, they discuss their plans going forward, with Silence agreeing to keep Chisamar company for the duration of their stay. The party splits up to visit several bars across the ship. These bars had a bunch of stuff going on. Fuzzy flirting with Taurus, Ember getting flirted on with some swingers, singing bits between Beckett, not Beckett,
I mean,
what's
that's the
my
same
own
wording
character's
I
name?
have.
Amba and Amba and Melody.
Anytime you can.
And the two of you guys went to the Raucous bar as well.
Anytime.
Anytime you can.
As the district explodes in popularity with each upcoming conflict occurring. As the
Hell
group
yeah.
parties, a gunshot echoes out, revealing the site of a guard's suicide in regards to the upcoming conflict. Chisimar and Maud sneak off to talk to Dogma, questioning his knowledge on Henri. He admits he teamed up with Taurus back in the day to exsanguinate him with his new blood to free him of the curse. Dogma agrees to give the same treatment to Chisimar, but with a more experimental move to bond his power to his physical body without needing Henri. The next morning, the group meets with Dogma, furiously thinking of ways to cross the Black River. Ambra propositions the idea of going over the river rather than through or under. And then there's also the events of Taurus performing the actual ritual, which shaves the fur off of Chisimar's arms, replacing him with these sprawling tattoos and giving him full access without. However, be it, you are still bound to Henri.
Fucked up Arms Club.
That prom hasn't been fixed yet. Hey, me too, I got this one.
Shut up.
Mine was willing.
Nerd.
Fauna appears from a rat
Get
form
another
on
cantrip.
Taurus's shoulder to agree assistance. That's kind of where we left off. I know it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, because the rat popped out of a fucking pocket.
I know there's one I wanted
Yeah.
to get.
Okay.
Pocket rat.
This
Fucking
is one of the
rat.
first dumb things I will ask this session. As we kind of, I assume we're just jumping back into it here.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm gonna just turn to look at Fauna, so it's kind of appeared
Excuse me.
He was alongside Taurus is the little person.
She's the
thing?
deep gnome.
Yeah.
That's
So
also
I very much, coming down off the high of this moment, do just want to look to, kind of look to Fauna, look to Taurus back with both goes. So, Fauna, did you
Well, no. Taurus says.
gonna slap a bear paw on his back? It's okay, buddy. Next time.
A bear paw? I thought you were a cat.
I'm going to bitch slap Ember so hard.
For your information, furry,
Partially.
I like to take it slow.
You're one to talk.
I'm fuzzy. That's way different.
Oh,
There is actually
wrong
there
nomenclature.
is
My bad.
there is a delineation between
Nomenclature?
furry
Ah!
and fuzzy.
I find
It really,
melody.
it really comes down to length and stiffness
That'll
of the
get you,
fur, as it were.
That'll
It
get you
does.
inspiration.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who said we're getting serious in this campaign?
As
me.
It's just where it says this mod is like
Oh,
that's the
shit.
last one with stiffness.
Yeah.
Last one. That was just-
That was terrible.
Like-
Holy shit.
No.
There it is, bitch.
That was with my offhand.
So, to maybe to talk a little business outside of a little bit of pleasure. So we're. Oh, do we need to build a ramp to go? I think going over the river does seem kind of like the most entertaining idea. to
Fucking
do.
rap.
Are we building a ramp as my old eloquent friend here wants to do? We build a
Just,
ramp?
just punches someone in the arm next to him because he's excited.
I'm cool with the ramp because it's the funny idea.
I take one.
You
It's
guys
not
do
funny,
recall-
it's badass.
You guys do seriously recall from the last session.
Yeah, we're talking about going over.
There's a
Henri-
bridge. You can make a bridge.
Showed his ability to turn a baguette into a paper airplane.
Yeah.
And making fly through the sky. He offered the idea of simply being able to jump the river and help with his powers glide
So,
it over just long enough to make it over.
Becca punches someone again out of excitement.
I am
Hold it.
curious. How much strain does that put on you to turn this into an ability to jump over a river?
Now this is the ambitious part of this. I did think of this. Doing that little stunt with the baguette. This is not a limited supply. The Weisbrigg superconductor back in Bright Peak was a pure example of real energy. This is a simple converter in which I use battery. This drains my physical stamina if it is not fed by outside electrons. So the more I use this power, the more it exhausts me. If I'm going to turn a ship this size into something that can glide, I'm going to need some sort of outside stimulus.
I was about to say, do we just need to plug you into a big old battery, or?
Now that could work. This works on basic currents. Of course, we'll need to adjust the volts and whatnot.
Just gonna turn to look at Jeremy. Just go. You guys got a big fucking battery on this ship?
The glory about this ship is that, well, back in the day we used to use the engines to push us and glide us along the sandbags. But since we discovered the glyphs that allow us to push ourselves into the ground, it focuses more like a slippery fish. Picture this.
I think I can picture it, but I actually do want to hear this metaphor.
Imagine you hold a fish.
Yes.
And you grab it one arm, and it slips out.
Yeah.
The other hand slips out. Slip, 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 slip. That is how the ship moves. The
Oh, so
glyphs-
like we're
the glyphs
like in a,
actively slip us through the sand.
Okay,
We
so-
use none of our power,
we're like a Seattle fish market out here.
which is kind of good because what the hell?
Old
First off,
old books.
do you
old
know what
books.
friggin' Seattle is?
No, not in your world. No.
Seattle Fish Market. It's Whitey's Fish Camp.
That's actually an
Fucking
Urban
worse.
Dictionary term in this world. You,
I
you
do it.
go to the bar and you give a girl a Seattle
Our
Fish
engines
Market.
have been.
Oh god.
The engines on the back of the ship are, of course, powerful enough to torrent us forward. And really, if we were able to reallocate some of our cables, we could bring them up over and try to find a way to utilize that power for something more ancillary. It could work. Albeit I will need to do some engineering. We do have a day or so to visit the rogue states and try to, well, pick up as many members as possible.
So what I'm hearing is we just get some cable from the engine, run it up here, plug it into Amba. Amba does some boop 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 boop, and then we're gonna go.
Amba looks around as well. It may or may not be that simple as well. There are two things that I find problematic. One, it is not as simple as me being able to think, oh, this is a big ship now. Now I got to just twist the knob and whatnot. With old plowman there for a second. No, it is. I create the formula. I have to understand what I'm visioning. I would need someone that understands aircraft to, well, teach me about things. I would need to be able to create it in a formula. That is my first problem.
We used to build ramps and ride bikes off of them when we were younger.
I was about to point that out. Like, we don't have great big ability in the aspects of aerospace engineering, but we are pretty fucking handy with a 2x4, some nails, and a BMX bike.
Hey, Dogma, how fast can you get this motherfucker going?
Can we get to 88 miles an hour?
Oh, we can get this we can get this very fast.
All right.
That's not the issue.
All right, so,
Yeah.
We can draw you some diagrams, Amba.
we can do the baseline physics of this.
The river is over a mile across. It would be unbelievable to simply jump it.
Just Mark pulls out a diagram, goes across. We got a mile across river. How heavy does this thing weigh?
This is the size of it. This is the size of a voyage of the Seas Royal Caribbean. It is.
How heavy is the voyage of the Seas Royal Caribbean?
For instance, it is so heavy I have not considered it. I consider it heavy.
Okay, we'll call it heavy.
But then again, we might have to talk to some architects about
If we
that.
need to do, I mean, I'm just sitting here. I'm just spitballing. We can do this math as far as building the ramp goes. We might be able to get this just on the ramp. But let's table the ramp conversation for a minute.
Clayton,
Do you have anyone here who knows how like flying aircraft works?
I do.
Okay, see, there we go.
We have an engineer here that was able to put this thing back up and running in the first place.
Oh god.
But probably nothing at all about engineering. I could introduce you. Amba speaks again. But that does not
Woo.
match up to our second problem.
Which is
This ability relies on my perception. The world around me changes based on what I see. This ship is, well, how you say, kind of difficult to catch in my entire view. I would need to be able to see the entire ship in order to turn it into something that could glide. I would need to be either substantially away, far up in the air to see it, or have someone that could convey that information to me. Otherwise, I'm only as good as I can look forward.
What if you had like a
Could
screen of some kind?
That would work.
Could you parachute surf off the back? Like if we tie you to a rope and get you a parachute,
Okay,
you can.
and that,
But
that is the first dumb idea we've had up here at the
no,
table
it's
today.
not necessarily a dumb idea.
Yeah,
No,
fuck
this-
you!
No, fuck you!
there is a margin of stupidity behind
Guys,
it.
don't
Wait
have
for
a
me to
cat
finish.
fight.
There is a margin of stupidity behind it.
Kick your ass.
I could glide, but I also need to be connected to some giant generator. Imagine
So we make
being
the
hooked up to some crazy thing high into the sky.
the rope the cable that is the power.
Now I was I'm coming around this idea now. If we use the power cable as the tether, we tether it right. But before we go all that far, don't we have someone here who can turn into a giant bird?
Fauna speaks up here. In a normal circumstance.
Because my thought is, if we're going a kind of heavy technology route with this, we could build some kind of relay device. I like screen. We build a relay device. We have someone be a big ass fucking bird. Give us an eye in the sky view of the whole ship that relays down here to Amba. Amba then can visualize the entire ship.
Well,
We fly.
Well, how would I be able to do that though? Seeing from, I guess from the bird, how would I be able to connect myself to the bird to be able to see from its eyesight?
I'm thinking quite literally, if we got anybody with the technical savvy to do so, we literally build a camera for the bird that goes to a screen down here.
We have a
We go for like,
we have a
I know we want to go
GoPro?
real magical and fantastical. Let's go for some old-fashioned hardware here and just build a camera and a receiver. I'm not smart enough to do that. But imagine there's somebody on this goddamn place that is.
It probably is. We can probably discuss that.
Just
Fauna continues his sentiment before he was interrupted. He goes, wild shape is all funny. Games for me, yeah, but... And he looks down his arms that are covered in these deep rings around him. He's like, that rat transformation honestly took me up for the day. I'm fucked.
well, luckily we're not doing this today, so.
I don't think you fucking understood me. I transformed into a mouse, not a giant bird.
Yeah, valid. No, that's on me. That's on me.
So back to the parachute surface.
Real quick, before we get to the parachute surfing idea, Fuzz,
General Fauna.
Fuzz,
Right, Chiz.
How
What
fucking
if we see a
hypocritical of
vein
you.
protrude from his forehead?
Yeah, what a hip.
What
It's
if-
very hypocritical of Chismar.
incredibly.
Yeah.
I never said he wasn't a hypocrite.
I guess so.
I guess he has a man of no value.
I've never had values or morals. What if we just took those power dampeners off you?
Well, then I wouldn't be in this fucking situation. I'd be back over in my homeland.
You know, okay. Sometimes, okay. If we could rap for a second here. Sometimes I'm just sitting here trying to get a gauge on what we can do here to help, but sometimes you come at me very aggressive. I think we could just try and have ourselves a calmer conversation as it were.
Chismar, that's just his normal speaking voice.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, well, then I apologize.
Maybe if you stop churning butter with that hands of yours, maybe I can give you a normal conversation.
That's his way of saying he likes you.
I think he makes biscuits more than anything.
He's saying that you're
Butter?
talking with your hands too much.
Well, yes, I do that. It's a good mark of sometimes.
Pissing me off. You look like you're casting a spell on me, you gypsy.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
now that is technically a racial term. We don't use that these day and age.
Would you rather me call you Asian?
That's
Okay,
not a slur.
That's so you're
I thought,
correct.
gypsy, I thought gypsy was like a race of people, whereas like gyp is the slur.
It's a-
Well, it kind of listen. It kind of.
We're not getting into it.
It
but-
depends on the.
No, I really want to get into this. This conversation rules.
No. You see, listen, you make a valid point. There is a view of it, but however, in the ever-noting changes of times, there have been movements within which that they've heard to be called. I cannot remember the term off the top of my head at this moment in time. There is a more specific term for what they are as a people, whereas gypsy, Romani, thank you, that is the term. Whereas gypsy was more used by others to demean them.
Okay.
Yep.
So I could be wrong. I will not speak for a group of people that I am not a part of. But it does appear they prefer to be called the Romani people, not gypsies.
To further complicate things, there's the Ramachev people, which that's basically just white trash, and they have co-opted the term gypsy, which wasn't racial, so now they're just like, oh, we're gypsies. It's like,
Fair enough. Listen,
Anyway.
multicultural politics aside,
Hey, you know, I learned
from like
something
5
today.
centuries ago, no less.
could we?
Can you stop virtue signaling to me for 5 seconds?
Listen, it's hard for me to stop white knighting sometimes. But
It's
what
not
if,
even in
could we find a way to get the power dampeners off? I mean, what if we try?
This is my issue. Back when I used to go, well, these guys can attest to this. Back in the engine gauntlet, there were ways in which I needed to blend in with people more perceptive to higher ratios of power scale. I would get these put on willingly to make me pass off as a common man.
Power.
The problem is, there was a specific wizard that needed to put these on me. I don't know this Sojin, and the person that puts these on me was the one that created it. Which is why I brought this up earlier. I thought we had been betrayed. Only one person I know in this goddamn earth knows how to make these, and suddenly I have 10 of them on me, John. Doesn't make any sense.
My friend.
So if you guys can figure out how to get these off of me, by God, I'd be more than happy to take this place by storm.
If only we had an artificer in the party.
If only we had someone who was
If only we had a higher level artificer.
If only someone here was intelligent enough with arcana and magic with which they could maybe interpret the runes upon which are written upon those things.
Taurus looks up.
Is that we did have an artificer.
I would be able to look at these.
Mm-hmm.
Albeit I never really heard of something that does something like this to someone's core ability.
We also know someone that can give magic powers whenever they want, and we have access to them.
What do you mean?
Aramil?
Oh.
And you see,
I look over at Amba.
you see Amba kind of shudder a bit and look down. It is best we look at other avenues.
Is there anyone else on this ship that can turn into a giant bird?
I didn't say I could turn into a giant bird. But I may or may not have a giant bird as a pet.
Okay, we need it. We need the biggest of timeouts here. You may or may not have a giant bird as a pet. Where the fuck have you been keeping it?
Well, if you turn around, it might just be able to show you.
I turn around.
I keep watching.
He's only looking at you.
You know what? In the interesting.
You're rolling insight to see if he's lying.
Nope, I'm rolling a flat d20. I turn around.
He looks at
It was
everyone else.
evens
and
I
gives
turn around, odds I don't.
He looks at everyone else, gives a wink, and he takes his finger here.
I got
And
a
as he
finger
brings
up
it
my
to-
ass.
He brings it up to his face. All of the rings on both of his arms light up like the sun, and you see him shudder and break into a cold sweat.
Damn it.
And then proceeds, and he stuffs his finger down his throat.
This is disgusting.
And then, along with a spew of green and red bile hitting the ground, about a foot-long scroll ejects from his mouth. And you see his hand tremble as he catches his breath.
Can't turn around.
Wherever we want. I don't give a fuck.
He just threw up. It was disgusting.
Can't turn back around.
Just walking through his throw up as he's doing this.
That is disconcerting. Was me turning around a part of that, or do you just not like me?
He winked whenever you turned around. I don't know what's happening.
Thanks, asshole!
I don't owe you anything.
Yeah, that's fair. I was done the same. This, I would need some extra outside energy to summon it. But this would be a conduit from an old friend of mine. We could summon it, and this would be more than enough to give us a bird's eye view.
Is it a rock?
It most certainly is a rock. Albeit,
I feel smart.
calling this particular entity a rock is an insult to the modifications we've made.
What the fuck have you done to the rock?
Made it something better.
I don't know, but I can sure smell what he's cooking.
Take a
Thank you.
first. Everyone,
Thank you so much.
everyone aside from this guy, just take a quick, a history check here.
It's really kind of someone I jumped on my rock jokes.
Jesus.
I jump on that rock.
17.
Oh, I'm good at this.
That's a 5 for Mod.
Famous
job,
last
Mod.
words.
Thank you.
Good job. 17?
17.
I also got 17. Yeah.
Jesus. 5.
So the ladies remember what the fuck.
I'm not necessarily sure you might have. Were you at the event where Fauna fought Bombshell?
I wasn't. I don't.
Because you had gotten your arm cut off like very recently after that. I can.
I remember the event, but
can
I do not know if I was there or not.
Fauna was able to summon a warg that had like robotic modifications to it. It had like mechanic back legs and stuff to it. Like
Hell yeah.
a lot of the things that have been summoned by Fauna seem to have been modified significantly.
Interesting.
So you might be able to connect that to what he's talking about here.
Alright, so much energy do you need to get this final boss out of you?
Anyone that's not me right now, honestly, but it would drain you for the day. So whoever's not willing to fight might be interested.
Mod speaks up and says,
If you say you're not willing to fight, I'm kicking your ass right
Nope.
now.
"No." Mod speaks up and says, "Alternative plan," and this is based on some recent prior history with a certain individual, but I'm pretty sure if the situation called for it, I could technically change into an Aarakocra or something similar.
Dogma speaks up. You would have to keep up with this. You would have to keep up with this shit.
That's true.
It would have to be something fast enough to keep up with something that could clear a mile within however long enough it needs to take the ship in the air for.
And meta-wise, completely meta-wise also, like my stats wouldn't change, so I don't.
You'd have to be able to fly at least 60 miles per hour just to barely keep up with it, depending on how fast it's
I
going.
don't-
Were planes a thing, like, whenever, like, in this world at one point? Like, I'm just thinking, like, if it's, like, mirrored after Earth, like, were there arguably fighter jets at one point in the history of this?
Mod turns
There
into a
was
fighter
like-
jet.
There would have been.
Okay.
I might be. Continue, but I might already be going on the same path you are now.
Like, how long ago?
I
Would
mean,
that
there's still
be?
fire. Like, there were jets that were
Oh,
used
yeah,
to
that's
get
right.
those Legion people over. But there was a complaint you would remember with them. They could not cross the river with that machinery. The corrosion was too strong for the physical material.
Oh yeah, because it's like even the air is.
Because, like, just because you're not in the river doesn't mean there's still a massive storm that coats above.
Okay.
They couldn't get anywhere near it, let alone cross over it. A ship this size would at least be able to spend a minute crossing through it.
Yeah.
But any longer than that, and everyone inside's fucked.
Okay. So I guess now
Discord.
we have the follow-up question. Anybody on this fucking ship able to read a scroll and gonna take a lot of your energy out of you and you're useless the rest of the day?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I could give up my spell abilities if I'm being powered by the ship. Since I won't be using anything for fighting prowess during this, as I'm maintaining, I could be the one that sacrifices my surgeon powers.
But don't we also need you to be making this thing into a flying machine?
Well, I will be using my machine for that.
Is that two separate energy pools for you?
Of course, I'm using my surgeon for
Oh,
my magic.
listen, I am still so new to some of the nuances of this shit.
There is a difference between physical energy and spiritual energy.
You know what? Someone told me that in a book once. I just never bought it.
All I'm saying is that
About a
if I
guy who
wanted
turned
to,
like water to wine and did some of the fish.
all I'm saying is if I wanted to teleport to Melody there with Misty Step, that would drain from my surgeon pool. If I wanted to teleport to Melody using the voice vapor here, that would drain from its internal power supply, which would in turn drain from my physical energy, therefore tuckering me out.
Okay. This is making sense. Making very clear sense.
Ultimately, I'm not just going to use a random reason. Just a random metaphor. It is no comparison to anything. Imagine my sojourn ability is put up to something like, I don't know, spell slots. Something very obscure like that.
What?
That drains from a different pool than, I don't know, let's say my exhaustion levels. Does that make more sense?
That's a very strange way to put it. I don't know if I fully follow it, but I think it does make sense.
I thought I was being a little too, avant-garde with that one. Seriously, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. This guy's talking some voodoo hocus pocus over here.
I mean, in that case, do we really think we're going to need Amba that bad if we're flying over? If we run into some trouble?
Well, I'm going to be spending the majority. No, I'm the one. Did you just tell me to shut the fuck up?
He doesn't.
I'm sorry.
God damn. Yeah, shut up. You do it.
Do we think we need him in an actual fight? I mean, he's been very useful and very helpful.
Who,
Very much
Amba?
so. Yeah.
Yes, we need Amba in the fight.
Well, okay. Well, my point is it more important that we have Amba in a potential fight that's not guaranteed,
Here's the thing,
or is
if
it
I-
more important that we get this ship over a
Here's
river?
the thing. If my focus is on the entirety of a ship from a bird, well, pun intended, bird's eye view, I'm not going to really be able to fight anyways. I'm not going to be able to see what's going on down there.
Yeah, I think we just you sit this fight out. You handle the mechanical stuff. We got your back if shit goes south.
I'm more than happy to give you that, if it means getting all these people over safely.
Most.
What? No.
There's casualties in every incident.
We might need to lose some weight to get over.
I've not finished doing these calculations on the mass of this thing, but that is true. We might have to kick some people out.
I did some research while you guys were talking, and this ship without the people weighs about 189,000 gross tons.
Okay, we'll just put that into the formula here.
That's
We're gonna
without.
need a really big ramp.
And here's the problem as
Do we have a manifest with everyone's weight?
We are going to need to pick up more people.
Oh my god, that throws off our entire weight ratio.
Listen, I cannot trust that the Legion is not going to invade any more of our
Oh no, they
residents.
probably will. They're fucking monsters.
That is why I'm going to pick as many of them up, bring them into our ship, and drop off as many guards or for the people that are willing to stay, of course. This is my bet. I'm hoping once we cross over the road, the river, we can get into contact to whoever is in charge of customs over there. Grant pardon to as many exiles here as possible. If I'm able to do that, then I do not go to war with these sons of bitches.
I feel like their asylum process is gonna be a lot better than some other areas of the world.
Well, you guys seem very charismatic. Perhaps one of you is willing to make a phone call.
I have a phone.
I can
I'll get on the horn with somebody.
I can talk.
You want a phone? My
You wanna
dick
get on the horn with them? Want me to get on the horn with them?
I can take care of it.
You want a flip phone? You want like a Nokia? Like what do you want?
Why do you have so many phones?
I'm like I'm going through like the
Why do
fanny-
you have so
the
many?
fanny pack.
No, we're not getting off this. Why do you have so many?
I'll tell you later.
No, we're not getting off this.
She's a drug dealer.
I got
You
two
should have said that
clubs,
way sooner. I have some orders to fill.
one for the club, one for the lube.
Speaking of which, we got more cocaine on this shit.
Of course we have cocaine.
Hell yeah.
Get this stupid episode.
Continue.
You need a phone?
So it feels like to sum us up here.
I like to think that I
Amba is willing to plug him into these ship's engines or some version of it to give the Ripahuwat enough power to sustain making this into a flying machine, kind of, sort of, glide at least. Turn into a sugar glider. At the same time, Amba can at least pop out this bird here from the scroll, big bird.
Should be able to do that there at that time. This
As I say,
better lasts a while, right?
Yeah, should.
so Fuzz,
In
how
all
long
honesty,
does?
last for about 8 hours.
Okay. Thanks, Doc. Well, in that case, we pop that out. Shit comes a flying machine. Wardle on standby in case shit goes south. Get across the river. Bob's your uncle. We're good to go.
Bob's your uncle.
There
That's
is-
the second
there
time
is one
in
more
2 days I've heard that
complication.
phrase.
With this problem.
There's
that I'm
always
not
a
seeing.
complication. Yes.
How am I going to be able to see from the bird's eye?
Okay, that's a very good point. Again, I'll open the floor to this. Is anyone technically savvy enough to build a camera and a receiver?
We have plenty of engineers, but honestly, with the war going about,
How do you?
I mean, can I
Imagine
just
this
polymorph
tomorrow.
into a bird? Like, do we actually have
The thing is making sure that Amba can see the whole ship.
well, I was
So something that would let him either something that lets him perceive through the senses of the bird up high.
So what you're saying is I need to, I don't know, have my mind connected to the bird.
Sure.
See, I was gonna say I could do that with my familiar, but I don't know how to get you to be able to do that.
This is the thing. Nobody here knows anyone that knows how to connect people's brains by chance.
It sounds really familiar.
Make a base intelligence check, Amber.
Ooh, intelligence!
I ain't got a fucking
I
clue.
got a plus
I
four
got friends who.
intelligence!
Only a +3?
So my new dice. Come on, baby. The 14.
Does anyone want to assist her with this? or-
Damn it.
Yeah, I'll give her the help action.
How? How are you doing it?
Yeah.
Um,
Are we like discussing
Remember that one
like what we
guy,
think?
that one
yeah,
guy?
I'll just like kind of
Like
be
that sounds familiar, and you're
talking
like
through like
we're brainstorming together.
everything that happened in the engine gauntlet that I saw and like
Try to push a little further past the engine gauntlet. What else can you think of?
Connecting our brains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking into like when we were in Bride's Peak, like there is. I remember going through like the gadget area. Was there gadgety stuff that could do it? Or like the avatar storage, maybe?
That's what I was
With your
thinking,
span of thought process here, just giving there's multiple time spans for Ember to think across. Go ahead and roll advantage.
That was worse.
Yes!
girl?
See, we ain't got no fucking clue with anybody who can connect brains.
Maybe you don't remember anything from the gauntlet. You don't remember anything from Bride's Peak. Maybe there was something in between that. Something so long ago, yet for some reason, so recent.
Can I make a history check?
Sure.
I only have a +1, so
Okay.
this is probably not gonna work. But
If I
This is
rolled
your
history,
last
I would have
chance.
rolled better.
10. Yeah.
10.
Something in between Bride's Peak and
Actually,
I don't
if you
know.
wanted to do an Arcana instead, does that do better for
the
you?
No.
Okay. With a 10, you know, there might be some specific. I don't want to give this to you. Is my
No,
issue.
no, we
I
should
don't
figure
want
it
to
out.
give it to you.
There's like
Is it the thing that
I'm
you
thinking
guys
about
are
like
connected?
the
The feathered
relays.
scratch thing. Sanctuary. Is that it?
Yeah, you saying this out loud?
Yes. And I'm like patting Maud like
Well,
Yeah.
Alma doesn't know much about this, so you guys would have to be the ones to discuss it. I
Well, did
can't just
Amba
say.
ever go? Didn't Amba get scratched?
I mean, they went through there, but it didn't really seem like it was anywhere in our reality. I'm not sure how that would be able to get us to a bird's eye view. We need something or someone that would be able to connect all of our minds together. Something that could help me see through her vision.
I mean,
Tor speaks up as well. I mean, there are scrying abilities. But how to get you to see through that, though? I would be able to cast it, but if you can't do scrying, then that is going to be problematic.
We know it. We have to know it.
You definitely do.
Said it feels like forever ago, but also recent.
Also incredibly recent. Okay, I'll
It's like a tiny,
with
not
Dante's,
like.
yeah, I got you. With Dante's hint from his history. I'll kind of give you this. When I said it wasn't technically the engine, but it wasn't the bride's peak, maybe it's something between. Maybe it's something that happened during Man of Airs. The thing between.
Oh God. That was so long
It
ago.
was so long ago, yet somehow super recent. You guys are killing me.
Is it the thing with Maud? When he changed into
That's,
do it.
fucking assholes?
that's a very recent development. That happened during this arc.
Does this
Or
have to do
was
with,
it long ago?
Does this have to do with Lua?
What did you say,
Does this
Kyle?
have something to do with Lua?
Why would that be?
Well, I'm having.
Because she can see through like the electricity shit, like she was tracking us, right?
Lua.
I'm grasping at straws here.
Oh, it was Fuzzy was able to track people, right? Fuzzy was
He can
able.
track people. What does that have to do
What
with
were you
this
saying,
situation?
Kyle? I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to figure out how there's a piece that I'm missing because I know that it has to do with Lua, but
Was it through our phones? Like when we were able to finally connect.
Kyle, this was your pivotal moment. I'll have you here. Just give me a flat D20.
yeah.
You can do this.
Because this
gotta
had a
die, you
lot to
can't.
do with you. You are the one that's bonded with Lua the most.
You're amazing. You're talented.
It's gonna be a 5, Chief.
God damn it,
Jesus
Kyle.
I haven't rolled anything yet.
Okay, how are you gonna help?
I think just like
I want to
talking-
punch him in the face.
Just like talking about.
Punch Kyle in the face?
Yeah.
Oh,
Get over here.
Not Mod, Kyle.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Maybe
punch
you'll
through the
remember.
fourth wall.
Maybe you'll remember.
I heard him say, I've bonded with Lua the most. I said, no, that was me.
You bitch.
Wait, what am I even rolling?
To hit?
You hit Kyle hard enough, it'll let him think again.
And then you add that to his modifier.
And then Kyle's like, what does this have to do with the campaign?
We're gonna keep smacking Maud upside the head until Maud thinks.
That's a 15 strength.
15.
Does that hit Maud?
That would not hit
I don't even have to
That's
check.
So
That
you
doesn't-
bring your knee up, it clinks against his freaking chest
Ow!
piece. So it's like,
down. Like,
I'm just watching
Was
this
this
be like,
inspiring to you?
you guys,
roll again.
do y'all
Kyle.
make any sense?
Here, I'm gonna also give him a bardic inspiration.
Nice.
Sure.
Help me recall, Melody.
I'm gonna whenever I so I go like I'm gonna grab your head to like knee it, but instead I just bring your face to my face and I go, Maud, you know this, you big dumb fucking idiot. You know you have
fine.
all the information in your head, and then I put our foreheads together, and then I stick my tongue in your nose, and now you're
What?
inspired.
What?
That's supposed to inspire
That's
me?
upsetting.
Your
That-
character's trash.
Now you know what will happen if
Melody
you
makes
don't
no
remember.
sense sometimes.
That's
It's
what
to
I've been
clear his
saying.
mind. He's
So,
like,
so,
oh.
so inspiration. If it's been so long since I've gotten inspiration,
You
that's
roll
like,
something
that's just
alongside it.
It's like
So you get
yeah,
a D10.
like
Okay.
to add.
okay. Well, let me roll my d20 first. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take that. That's gonna be an 18 on my second roll without an inspiration.
Okay, with an 18.
Well, now
Thinking
you just
back
have a bardic to save.
See,
to all the time you spent
welcome.
with these different characters here,
let's just take a new route.
there was something different about Lua. She had this crazy ability to telepathically link everyone's minds together.
Yeah, she talked just like.
And she did it recently too,
Yeah.
back at the Rogue State. If anyone could link you guys all together, it would be her.
Oh, we gotta fucking talk to Lua.
Yeah.
Did we leave her on the ship?
Yeah, she's
Still on the
ship.
ship somewhere.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the ship.
Partying up with Carol.
I'm just
It's
Oh,
like,
Carol's definitely an aberrant monster at this point. There's a beholder king just floating there with tentacles and shit.
Just gonna be over in
Girl's
the
actually
corner,
a
making me a small
monstrosity.
drink off the drink tray. You guys figure out the fuck you're thinking
I
about
love
yet
it.
there yet?
Carol's just like drowned at the bottom of a margarita glass somewhere.
Thanks for
Okay,
letting us
again,
talk it out
again.
and figure everything out.
Who the
Thank
fuck
you.
is?
Yeah.
Thank
First
you.
off, who the fuck is Carol?
Are we sure that Chiz can't fucking be the one to go up? Like, why?
Oh, Carol's the one. Carol's the one who gave Ember all the cell phones.
Okay, I have more questions than answers.
I had the phones before Carol.
Circling
thank
back
you.
though, did we figure out a way to link Amba to a bird?
Yes.
Were you listening or were you fucking off over there?
He was fucking off,
I was
duh.
making beverage.
Fucking
Yeah.
listen. We're not gonna explain it again.
Look, did
Oh my
just
god, why
was
do we
with
have
us
this
when
guy?
we last spoke with Lua a couple sessions ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys had
Yes.
freaking pardoned Lua with this with the army.
I was just making sure that
Lua
Chismar was,
busted
like, in the
open
same
the
room.
gates
Yeah,
to this
I'm
roasting.
aware of who they are, and I'm vaguely aware there's some history there.
Yeah, no, so basically we need to go find Lua and see if we can.
Who the hell is this person that we keep him? Is this the witch that you guys brought on from earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
How?
I'm gonna kill her.
I mean,
today.
basically.
Who exactly
Why
is
you
this
kill her?
person?
She's a lady that was against them for a while, and then I guess one of them gave her a hamster,
Yeah, Carol.
and then she showed back up again.
Okay, I just
Maybe someone
She
who's
shows up like when she feels the need
Lua's
to
a
meddle.
wild card.
I just want to interject.
She's a wild bitch.
Real,
That's what she is.
real fast. Want to interject again? Why did we give her the hamster? It feels like
I actually
it
don't
just-
I was
it
asking the
just-
same question.
well, it
over
just-
here.
it
I think
feel-
Hostel
it
just
just-
didn't feel responsible.
It
for
just
that,
feels like
honestly.
the hamster's a little bit of a touchy subject. So why would we willingly give her the hamster?
Carol's,
What makes us
Carol's not the
upset?
touchy subject.
Wasn't it a
Well, to
trade?
you, is there a you just seem to be upset when Carol's brought up, but it's like,
No,
what's
I
the
love
touchy?
Carol.
That's my point. Like, it's
I'm
like,
okay
wasn't
with
it
us
wasn't
giving
it like a
Carol
trade?
to-
okay, well then
No,
what,
like,
what's
she
your
asked
issue
for the
with
hamster.
it?
It was
No,
because
It was
no,
her
no.
friend.
Hostel just didn't want the responsibility.
That's what I said. I was like, he's
Excuse
just,
me.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
he's like, he just
That
doesn't
you
think
literally
Carol.
answered was that I
Yes,
don't think
God.
Hostel wasn't doing it.
Carol's also a guy.
It was
hamster,
because
by
we
the
were
way.
about to go.
Give
to
it to X is what you were saying.
It was because we were about to go to the moon, and I was like, I don't know if this hamster can survive the fucking moon.
I forgot that.
So I need someone to take care of this hamster.
I like
when we
the
go to
idea that the
fucking
moon is hamster proof.
Yeah.
Hamsters cannot set foot on the
Like it's
moon.
something just die.
That's what I was worried about.
Just covered in
out there.
dander and shit.
Look, there were just no spacesuits that were
Which is
hamster
rough
sized,
because
that's
all Lua wanted to was go
Oh
to
my
the
god.
moon.
Now I want to
She
make
wanted
a
access to
Carol
the
size
freaking
suit.
cities, so she would have taken
What's really
freaking
fun is
Carol
that
up
there's
there.
literally a stat block in one of the source books that is a space hamster.
Oh my god, I need one.
Literally is in the source books.
Excellent.
Oh, can I pull out my little homunculus guy?
Yeah.
I haven't pulled him out in a while.
You little wooden guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How long is this conversation, by the way, that we're doing?
Couple hours.
An hour.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
perfect.
have been here for. Okay, Jessimar's like 3 drinks deep, just being like, we're having
Okay,
a
I wanna be
time.
Jarvis over here like.
Hey, pass that shit over here.
I want to be doing
Sniff it
my
up from
find
my ass
familiar.
crack.
I want to be doing my find familiar during this
Okay.
conversation.
So you're taking the minutes to cast them.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you can do that.
Just while we're talking and
You'd
stuff.
easily be able to do that during if you started this
Yeah,
earlier.
and then I got my little homunculus. He's just hanging out on my
Yeah,
shoulder.
this little wooden dude.
I
here
imagine
with
like
these glowing
Groot. Like he
eyes.
looks like Groot.
Yeah, he's just a little glowing wooden freaking whittle dude. That's just like.
Whittle dude.
I love him.
I will still
That's what he said.
only ever
Whittle.
think of him as the top
Is
taffy
that his name? Is
monster
this made of
from
wood?
Bob's
Maybe like you
Burgers.
whittle
Yes.
Is his name Whittle?
Yes, it is now.
I just gave CJ the name for her little homunculus.
It is now. His name is Whittle.
Do you think this witch would be able to possibly link us, me and the bird?
Yeah.
Because if that were the
Oh.
case,
Well, yeah, if you have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription.
That's your homunculus.
Sorry.
guy.
No.
Yeah.
No. He looks like Groot. I hate that.
what is it?
It's the taffy guy from Bob's
Oh,
Burgers.
yeah.
No.
Oh, I hate that. That
No.
looks like that one wheelchaired fish from SpongeBob that just can't wait to die.
Yeah.
You
That's-
just can't
never
wait
wait
to be
to
the
die.
That exactly.
That's how
That voice hurts.
that's my head. That's my head canon for her homunculus.
No.
Stop rubbing me, you lazy Mary.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace, Stephen
Throw
Hillenburg.
up. Jesus.
Did Steven Hillenburg voice her?
No, that's the guy that made the show.
Well, I know, but he, like,
I hope he didn't voice her. That lady's also mega dead.
Just you won't give me a minute. I got.
Oh,
Stop
God.
it. Okay, let's focus on the freaking campaign.
Yeah, we can focus on the campaign while I find out a fun fact.
Okay.
Fun.
Well,
If it's not fun, you're fired.
So I
Yeah.
guess that gives us our 3 checklists. learn the machinations of a giant airplane, figuring a way to wire me up, and connecting me to somewhere that is visible.
We haven't learned the machinations of an airplane. Do we need just books on airplane engineering?
Like I said, there is an engineer that I was able to get this whole ship up and running. Keeps themselves busy down in the boiler libraries. I could introduce you.
That'd be nice. So we need to figure out the machinations of an airplane.
Connecting Amba to
we gotta
power
yeah.
source. We need the power source from, and we need the visibility.
Okay.
Those are the three things we need
So
to fix.
I guess with these three things in mind, do we?
Oh, 4 things. We need to convince the Malandar to allow citizenship for
we gotta
the people
make
here.
a phone
Because
call now.
if they don't,
We're
then
gonna fight.
Dogma's gonna go to war with these guys.
So first thing, I guess, how do we want to tackle this? We all as a big group along gang, go to each prom as a big checkpoint, or do we want to split up our powers here and everyone go kind of try and tackle the thing, and we regroup in a few hours?
I think split up would be fastest.
I agree. Sorry.
That is what you're supposed to
I
do.
agree.
Want some water?
In this instance, maybe.
Your voice is so contagious. There is no worries.
What?
The thing is, I could probably go talk to this engineer. I'm the one that needs to study the process. That would, of course, take a lot of mind power on my end. If the others want to focus on the other 3, I can devote myself down there. I mean, also, if someone wants to come with me, I would never say no. I don't know what I'm doing.
DM question. What is it that she's wanting to do exactly?
Merrick?
Yeah.
Is she?
Sorry.
Okay, no.
I was thinking it was the other. We got so many
Merrick,
pieces in this conversation.
Merrick, in order to develop the formula to turn this thing into a
He's
giant
not
airplane, needs to understand how giant airplanes work.
Gotcha.
And he needs to know every inch of the diameter, and
You know what? I'll come with you because I can remember a lot of things.
you would be able to
Off
help
the
me put
bat.
that together for the formula.
Let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
Give him the help action.
Could probably
I
give
have
you
a photographic memory.
could probably give you a rundown on how these formulas work. After all, it seems you still seem to be dealing with that shit
My
after
little
all.
guy.
I do.
Not even that, the static problem you're having.
I real quick draw a diagram of an Airbus. That's weirdly really. That's like weirdly.
Fuck Boeing.
No, not a Boeing, an Airbus.
Yeah, idiot.
I thought Boeing made Airbus.
No, but 2 different companies.
Airbus makes Airbus.
Yeah, it's like Boeing.
What a
making
stupid name for your
Airbus.
company.
Boeing? Boeing! That's a better name.
No,
Yeah,
I
names-
flew American and it was an Airbus. That was
yeah,
the
American
plane.
is Airbus. Boeing does all the.
Oh my god.
These are the companies that issue out the plane. They make the planes.
This is my new company, Sky
American-
Yacht.
America's just the company
American
that flies
Airlines
people
does
planes.
not
Oh my
make
God.
planes.
They don't make them. They go, hey,
They
Airbus,
buy
send us a
those.
plane. Or, hey, Boeing, send us a plane. They
Got
don't go,
you.
hey, I'm American. I'm going to build a plane now.
Okay, but that would definitely be an American.
Spirit, I guess,
Yeah,
kind of does.
Spirit's fucked.
But
Well,
like,
it's
Hey,
just-
Spirit has not crashed their planes, and they have not landed upside
Neither has
down.
Airbus.
They have not
Okay,
landed upside
take that
down.
shit out your mouth.
Airbus.
Oh my god.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I didn't
This
know
is
you
not
guys
an
were so
ad.
passionate about
We are-
fucking
we are
aircraft.
not-
Fuck Boeing!
We are not sponsored.
We're from fucking Wichita, guys, and we're passionate about aircraft.
Listen, speak for yourself.
All right.
Heart of the skies!
Air capital.
Air capital. That's what Air capital. That's what I meant.
To circle back into the actual rubber. So, Ember and Amba go and learn how planes work.
Emba Naba.
I imagine based on relationships, either one of Melody or Maud should go talk to Luau.
Luau.
I honestly suggest Maud maybe go. You seem to have a better connection with her than the
Oh yeah, I'm
rest of us.
fucking
Yeah,
go.
tell that
Oh my
bitch
God.
to suck it.
Ma, do you want to fuck Luwa?
I mean,
You can say yes.
Here.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I haven't received a good. I haven't received a.
Lua?
I haven't
No,
received a good enough physical description to decide.
She had a crystal in her head.
No, I'll go talk to Lua.
she had a crystal in her.
If
Yeah, isn't her head partially like crystal?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, she's a
bald
she's
and
a
has
disco
half the
ball
size
lady.
crystal
She also doesn't
eyes.
have
They have
elbows
these
either.
sharp-
Do not remember.
You guys were all part of this mini session, right?
No,
You
I
remember Luau, right?
No!
Remember
Oh, that was
Thursday
the
mini
past
session?
one. That was the past one, right?
Yeah,
That was the
Remember
one-off.
Thursday?
That
where
was
you guys
Soup
were all
Can
hands?
Harry.
Nope.
No, that was
Soup Can Harry.
that was Brasswoods.
That was Brasswoods.
Soup Can Harry.
No, this was the one where all you
Yeah,
guys
that
were
was
like
different.
cultists.
Oh shit! Yeah,
The
no,
guy
And
you
she was
guys-
like a teenager.
I
That
remember
was
now.
Lucy
Okay.
Auburn. That was
Oh,
Luau.
I got you now. I got you now.
That's her name.
I
That
told you
was
that just
I
recently.
wasn't
not-
in that.
not to
session.
decide too
No,
many
just
things
recently.
here.
She introduced herself to Dogma as Lucy
I
I
Auburn.
don't
would-
trust anything she says.
I'm surprised you still remembers her name, honestly.
I wouldn't mind tagging along with Ma here,
How old is she?
considering the minute I leave his circle of influence, I might get ganked off this mortal coil.
Yep.
Ganked off the
Oh no, you
coil.
two have to definitely stay together. No,
Yeah.
please. Alright, the two of you stay together.
Alright,
that-
so
I guess-
Maud and I will go talk to Luau.
and Church and
So wait, do we know? Wait. Sidebar. Do we know what actually happens now if like
We don't know what happens if I leave Silence's zone of truth.
Nope.
We imagine it's bad.
He starts
It
freaking
might be.
We imagine it's bad.
vomiting.
Do you wanna test it, Fulton?
Let's
No.
fucking
Do you
do
wanna
it.
test
No,
it?
Fucking
Andrew.
go.
Henri was very pissed off as we did the whole
Yeah.
process, so I imagine the minute he's able to have any influence over me again, it's not good for me.
It's probably just gonna kill you.
That's what I think's gonna happen.
Aneurysm.
Yeah.
Andrew's like.
So so
ideas.
sorry to silence to
Fucking
keep him out for so long, but I might need him to
Kill
pull
this
some
cat.
full-time overtime too.
Fucking do it.
So
Yeah.
we'll go talk to Luau,
I'm gonna
So-
give Malador a call.
Nice.
and then afterwards, you guys want to go and maybe run some cable?
And so, okay, so let's
What does
so
that
what,
mean?
so how are we dispersing
It's
up
kinda
here?
like
It's
playing
you,
pipe.
Lame
Me and
bit.
Maud.
So that's the
so it's you, Mard, and Chismar are going with.
I am stuck with him. I am not leaving his side.
You, Mard, and Chismar
That's
are going
right.
to find
He's
Luau,
fucking
is
stuck
what
with
you
me,
said.
buddy. He likes him.
Wait,
Um,
where's Beckett going?
That
Beckett's making a phone call bare minimum first.
that would be Ember and
Amba.
Amba are going to
Ember
the
and
engineer.
Amba.
It would then be Church and
Ember and
Beckett
Amba.
to. Well, there's still the issue of the courts. Maybe Church goes off and talks to people that are responsible for the power,
That would
and you
make
can
sense.
handle
Yeah, I'll give Malador
the
a call.
conversation
Now I need to
with
draw
the upper heads
And then I guess,
at Malandar.
and then I guess Melody can either hang out with Beckett on making a phone. Well, hang with him on a phone call. Go get some cables. Come hang with Luau.
Well, I mean, I was planning on
Wow.
having a classic Melody and Mod mess around, but maybe you're gonna be there.
Listen. I would love nothing more than honestly do a very intense political conversation. Both Chismar and Fulton would love that. But I cannot leave his
Who's
side.
Fulton?
I would like to ask the same question.
He's some dumb prick. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
I heard
Also,
about
Chiz.
this. I heard about this guy in Kansas thousands of years ago. That was just a big dumbass.
Is
named
while you were
Fulton.
researching for
grade
those
A.
tons.
Fucking Amba uses the static on Chismar and turns into this guy from 2025 Kansas who
Like,
looks
just-
suspiciously like Fulton.
Just describe who you want me to make him. I'll make him like that. I bet he uses a lot of hand gestures.
Probably.
I bet he wears a lot of T-shirts from colleges he doesn't give a shit about.
Hey, I give a shit about the Washington Huskies because their mascot's adorable.
What the fuck? What are we doing? We just have a time here.
I only wear shirts about things I give a shit about.
Same.
Yeah.
It's like, I used to.
I
I
mean,
announced the game
listen.
from here once.
Listen, if Home Field Apparel wants to sponsor this this series, I will sign that deal immediately.
I don't even think you're in.
This stream is
don't
sponsored
care.
by Nobody Colleges.
I will.
I
Home
only,
Field Apparel, give me a call.
I only wear T-shirts of things that I'm passionate about.
Like what?
Yeah, nothing.
You're passionate about nothing.
Green.
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 I
Green.
really
Green.
like
Green.
the color
Green.
green.
You!
I think Dylan's watching the stream. He just sent the meme here that
He has to.
he sent the meme that really had to do with what we were talking about.
No, he has to be watching.
He said players unable to remember the campaign DM. Well, think again.
Oh, think again. Also, I think it was some lady maybe named. I think Serena Irwin was the voice of the old lady
I just brought this character back. Please remember.
in that episode.
She's on the ship somewhere too.
Nah.
She's super powerful. Please.
No, never want to deal with her again. No. thanks.
All right, so we
Me.
breaking.
That's me. We don't do that.
What?
So we splitting up at this point.
Yup.
Okay,
Breaking the party.
let's see who all we're splitting up. What the order everyone's splitting up in.
It's me.
Let's roll for it. Who's the designated roller on each team?
Well,
You're
first
being
of all,
my
you
roller.
guys fight for me.
I even made
Okay.
a note.
You roll for yours since
I will
you're being
lasso you with a rope and bring you with us.
Okay.
you roll since you're the one that knows Lua.
Sure.
You're gonna roll because
What kind of a
again,
roll am I doing
Just
here?
Just a flat
Flat
roll,
D20.
flat d20.
All right.
And you're
Decide
rolling
who gets
because
to talk first.
church is.
That's it.
Well,
That's
church
it.
is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
I'm just on my own.
And then
What
Dylan
is
just
your
sits in
dog?
the
They've been
number.
Sure.
awfully quiet.
That's them in the session.
Crazy.
That's a 13.
13.
Nice.
You're 13.
Hold on.
We're just rolling a d20.
Is it? I don't know. I don't
If
know
it's the
numbers.
highest number, we'll get to go first. Maybe.
Oh, that's cocked.
13.
Same.
11.
Got
I
13.
wish
got
I
cock.
was. That's a 2.
A 2.
That's a 2. I
Oh,
made a
that's a
little
20.
note. Emba and Amber.
It's a 20.
That was a 2, Dante.
So you rolled nat 20?
No.
Oh, a 2.
I rolled a 2. Dante did his little finger magic thing again.
That's what
Okay,
they call
so
me
that
in
would
bed.
be.
That's what
And
Emma
that would
says.
be this group here. Sorry, my mind's blanking. What are you guys doing?
We're going to talk to Lua.
Lua, you guys are fighting. Okay, so do that.
Hopefully not.
That
do
bitch
that
we've been
on the
talking about for
conversation.
20 minutes.
Then we'll do. And then we'll do the engineer.
First we forget about Lua, then you forget about Lua. What's going on?
There's
with
so
Lua?
much. Think about the scope of what's happening right now.
Think
What brought everybody
Scope's
to
here?
this?
Scope.
He is here. He's in Dante's finger. Someone should bring that up. Dogma.
Wait a
Someone should
minute.
probably
Hold
bring that
on.
up to Dogma.
Hold on. What do we mean Scope is in his finger?
I forgot about that.
What?
What do we mean he is in his finger?
How about you come over here and find out?
Look, why don't... Now look, just
That was
for
his butt.
Look, there's... Ember's got like 50 cell phones. The answer's in one of them. Start searching.
Give me the fanny pack.
No.
Okay. We determined the order. Let's take a little break.
I will give you 10 phones, and that is it.
Ugh.
But if you do need people that need phones, I mean, we need money, so.
Look at that chunky neon.
I just pretend that I will never run out of phones. Like, that's how big the engine gauntlet
Oh, you
was.
collected
Every
everyone's
single
phone.
So
It is a duffel bag just filled
Yeah.
with flip phones.
when we left the engine gauntlet, we were trying to
Yeah,
get
they
out.
like
We
Anakin.
found the security room. I found every
That looks cute. I
single
love you.
person's confiscated cell phone, and I took
I've heard they're good though. That's my favorite loggers.
So that's why I have so many phones.
One of my favorite loggers.
She's a drug dealer. Yeah, I'm making those, you know, on everyone. Kayla, I'm so happy to see you. Have you seen Sinners yet?
White slut.
Have you seen Sinners yet?
I don't know what you're talking about so much.
It's a vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. Also
What's
has
the genre?
it's like a dark spooky.
Dante, be happy you didn't. I ended up actually going to see her.
My boss has seen it twice.
Be happy you
She
didn't come
loved it
with
so
us.
much.
The dudes
How
behind
do you-
us.
well,
Shut
how do
the
you-
fuck up. These
I know. I was
guys.
gonna see if you and Mamie wanted to go
Would
see a movie this
not
weekend.
shut. They got quite occasionally, but every
I
major
wouldn't
line that
mind
we
saying that
are
my mom-
massively
Okay.
quotable.
They had to say
Loud as day.
But
Had to quote the line.
The only thing I have, so I started saying the
Imagine-
Ruined.
Thursday through
Imagine
Sunday
if every time
for,
there's a big line, they just
Okay.
yelled out, "Chicken
for house
jockey!"
sitting.
Fucking dumb.
I have nothing Friday. The only thing I have
Oh my
on
God.
Saturday.
Hey, go see a movie in theaters.
The only thing I have on Saturday is at 2:30. I'm getting my hair done.
Quote lines.
I'm busy
going
pretty
for
much
the
with
nostalgia of my
Sunday.
movie.
I'm sorry, phone.
I don't think I have anything going on.
Like,
I mean, I
saying
work
it out loud
Sundays,
quietly under your breath.
Oh no, throw away my popcorn in the fucking air.
Well, he's
What's
talking
wrong
about Revenge of
with
the
you?
Sith, not my.
It would probably be fun to go like Friday night.
That's back
Okay.
in theaters right now.
And I was going to actually
Oh, yeah,
see
no,
if you
that-
wanted to
I
go
did
get
do that. It was great
breakfast
and amazing.
and go to the farmer's
Oh,
market.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't have another party until May 10th, so I'm
I'd
free.
sit and watch
I definitely want to go to the farmer's market. I want to start
Okay.
doing that.
Put it in your calendar right now. I'm gonna
Okay.
say farmer's market and
To their
breakfast.
credit, they did like the Vulcan movie. They weren't saying too much.
Because you can
It
just
was-
come
It was
to
when
my
it started, and
mom's
when any major line in major
and
moment.
then we can because
To which
it's right
there
next to
also
the farmer's market.
is
Okay.
on
And so you
TikTok.
can just pick me up and then we can go walk around and then we can go get breakfast.
Hell
But
yeah.
it was just like, isn't it so great when like the entire theater was copying this? It's like, no,
Cool.
that is
There you go.
bad. This is not
And
interactive.
then
This is not interactive theater. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god.
Okay, Dylan is very much listening. Dylan
if you're still listening, good point. Dylan has to be, in fairness, one of them had a really good Emperor impression. To which that is true, one of the people behind us had a really good Emperor Palpatine impression.
Oh, I
It
think
was spot on.
Hi, baby.
I really enjoy that Dylan is listening into this session.
Yeah.
Oh, my back.
The only thing I can ever do to impersonate
Like, he
Palpatine
did
is
nail
just the
Palpatine.
Do it.
That's the only one I can ever
Do it.
But I can impersonate Anya all the time. Because she's just a squeaky toy.
I can laser on ya.
Yeah, fuck.
There's a laser. Anya.
Like, the
Oh,
writing
God.
of
Oh, God.
episode 3,
Finn loves
much
that
like all the
thing.
prequels, is so
Get
fucking
it.
terrible.
It's
Its
best of the
pacing,
three for sure.
its pacing is so fucking bad.
So I've officially
But
fallen
it's
down a
some of
rabbit
those
hole.
badass
I've
lightsaber
been
sequences.
having
And it's
I've been
some of, like,
experimenting
the
with
best
ChatGPT,
high moments of,
making
like,
me
the actual drama.
making me session
If you don't get a little
outlines
misty-eyed, at the
because,
end of Anakin and Obi-Wan
Dylan
fighting,
asked me if I was
when
gonna try to run
Obi-Wan has
something
to
on
cut
our
off his
strong
arms,
break.
his legs,
I was like,
and
I was like, I might
You're
like
just a little
in
misty-eyed
June
there.
like do something like
When
do
you
like
really
3 to 5 or something. I've been wanting to.
You don't know the soul.
Oh, she misses it.
And I literally have come up with like
I fucking love that. I fucking love Star Wars. Star Wars is
so many concepts.
might be my favorite
Oh,
part.
yeah. That's awesome.
So I have some news. I'm trying not to tell other people because I always jinx good things. So a place that I applied for a truck/yard farm job, farming and acting. They invited me to apply for their career application, and then they asked me
For a global male,
which was like a big step. Yes. So I'm waiting to hear
Is
back
it
from them.
better pay?
Yeah, 2015.
not by much. I think it's
What do you have like? What do you do?
growing big here. What do you want me to say?
So the $5 to $6
Look down. There's a laser.
And any overtime I
chasing,
want.
dummy.
Slip and slide out.
What's the red one?
Wow, so he's
So
lasers.
we'll see. But I hope
Maybe
that-
laser was the dumbest comment I've ever made, but it is the
Really
comment
nervous.
I've
And I
made.
was getting that feeling that I've had like every time I've gotten.
You know what my favorite thing to do in the movies is?
What?
Take a laser pointer and shine it on people's nipples when you can see them.
Oh God.
What is wrong with you as a person?
Yeah, you have to like stand up in like
If
the
you would
front
want,
row and like turn all the way around so
if we
they
go
can
to
see
that
you doing
movie
it. It's not
on
fun.
Yeah.
and if you would want to,
That actually
you could
happened
come
in a
back
movie
over
that
to
I
my
watched
mom's
once.
afterwards.
Someone brought in a laser
Yes,
pointer, which is
we're
like
hanging out
anytime there were
afterwards.
nipples on stage, they would just circle with a laser
Then
pointer. We're like,
me
"What the
and
fuck are you
Bailey.
doing?"
That's really
Have
fun.
you
Queen,
ever
Queen,
seen a
Queen.
Or a man?
No, it was like an
I've
action
seen
movie, so it was just like all the shirtless, muscly
She's
girls,
so
and then it was just like
she's
laser
so
pointer.
cute,
That's
though.
really
Listen, you gotta love those shirtless.
I was like,
assholes.
she
Man
literally
pick
has
nipples.
4 different times that
She
she's
do that many
throughout the
qualifiers.
day.
No, I didn't. But
And
I
Mom,
gave
I
them
was like, do you
anyways.
give them to like all at once? She goes, you can, or you can like spread them out. I was
Do you
like,
need
yeah,
them any
maybe I'll just spread them out.
qualifiers?
She's like,
No.
she'll probably
Did I
find
give
it.
them?
Like a
Yes.
little treat.
Because
Oh,
yeah, because she
really?
gets them in like pill pockets.
Uh-huh.
That's
Oh,
what it
so
is,
she
like a
likes them.
treat.
Yeah.
And like last time I watched her, she would go and like nudge me. She'd be like, where's the fuck my medicine?
My joints hurt. Give me my treat.
I've never had a young.
Literally, she's like, I think
I
I'll
was-
notice
I
that you
told Andrew I'm gonna make
haven't
like Anakin
gotten
kill this
anything in a
young
while.
Nice. You got 'em.
There are too many of them. What do we do?
Just drink it, man. Alright, let's kick this
So
shit.
Anakin killing younglings. Just smashing beers.
Andrew, if we saw any of those movies
go that
together,
way.
I
was like, I'm not even
the
gonna
only
try.
line that you would probably like, go
Dante.
along with is the
jeez.
fucking.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You
You don't want to sell your death sticks. I don't want to sell your death sticks.
I wanna go
You
home.
want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life.
See
So
that guy's
funny.
fucking mouse in the Matrix? Same actor.
What?
Yeah.
I disagree.
No, that's.
Get refused.
I mean, that's just a fact. You
Jinx
can't
my
really disagree
dice.
with that.
Oh, I rolled a 2.
Yeah, get
Facts
them.
don't care about
seven.
your feelings.
No, that's a 7. Your dice script is.
Those are my
annoying.
new dice.
Then there's no
This is my new dice.
They
They're
got
better.
foil in them.
Well, it's gonna be bouncing
That's
for a
gone
while.
forever.
Oh no.
It's
You're
gonna
going to the
for a
couch.
while.
The group.
If it
Did it
wasn't so
bounce
fucking
another time?
I think
bouncy.
it did.
Alright.
Oh, you
Yes.
lose something?
I die. It's fine.
The
It's
group
very
consists of Chizamar, Maud, and Melody. Splits off from the rest of the group as they do this.
Classic-
Melody's coming.
classic
Aw.
Chisma.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
man,
Messing
hey,
around
hey,
where-
man, she seemed lonely.
Did you get
I
it?
thought I'd invite her.
You can come with me.
Melody.
It's like the one nice
Melody,
deed I got today.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
Your job.
Swear to God, backhand across your
Fucking
fucking
do it.
face.
Fucking do
Wizard, bring it on, bitch. Bring it
it.
on.
Ayada.
Should bring it off.
No, you
Now the
should bring
talking
it off. What
cheese
is
is
that
gonna
from?
preach to us.
What is that from?
SpongeBob.
No, guys, we should bring it
That's
off.
the what he just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just what
And
it
then you
said.
follow it up with,
I
oh no, the
know,
talking
I know.
cheese is gonna preach
That's
to
from
us.
Bad Geeks, right?
Yes, it's
I
from
didn't
Bad
hear
Geeks.
that line. I didn't hear that line. Okay, sorry.
What comes after the talking cheese line?
Okay. The first group would be Chizamar, Maud, and Melody. Go.
All right.
I'm
First,
letting you take
first
point,
is
big
the
guy.
worst.
All right.
Right.
Do we? So I will.
Just start walking around.
I will
Luo.
head. Well, no. I will head to the last place that we saw her, which, as far as I remember,
Well.
is her whatever quarters she was holed up in.
Okay.
So I'll head there first.
And now when we get there, we just need to politely ask her how she goes about connecting people's brains so we can connect Amba to a big bird in the sky and so he can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Simple
Now,
as that.
I do think that this is not a power that we are going to borrow. I'm pretty sure we will actively need her help with this.
Yeah,
I think that's fine by me.
Maybe she could teach me how. I mean,
Maybe
I don't
That'd be
possibly.
cool.
You guys have this discussion as you end up back at your bedrooms,
Beckett.
which which Maud had last seen
Beckett,
Yes.
your bedroom.
Lua at.
Oh, you saw
Yeah.
Levi here.
Sure.
What's he doing?
I respect.
You're a whore.
She helped me discover a new side of myself. No. Yeah, I will.
It's called pegging.
You're drink good though?
The Beck rooms.
It's pure tequila.
Oh my god, why?
It's good stuff.
I wish it was Wednesday. Because then I could drink because I don't work tomorrow.
Oh,
But I work tomorrow. 'cause
Next,
it's
we'll do it.
Wednesday.
We'll do it another Wednesday. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll knock on the door.
It's your bedroom.
Oh, it's my. Oh.
Why is Lua in your bedroom?
She
Well,
showed
this
him
is
the new
you
side of
guys all
himself.
You guys all share a stateroom together. This isn't like you guys have.
We walk in and
individual
she's
stuff.
naked in Mon's bed.
I'll still knock before coming in since
So you knock. You wait a few moments. You don't hear anything.
Jesus.
I'll enter.
Okay.
Bet you
Make a
will.
perception check here.
Just him or all of us?
You can all if you want.
Yeah, I will.
Maud's leading the charge. I figured he'd at least do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'll do it if Mod fucks up.
That's a 14.
14.
Just in case. Just in case.
Scouting around, the room seems empty to all extents. Like there's no one visible in the room.
16. If that makes anything better.
I'm gonna do a sending message,
Okay. That works too.
and I'm just gonna be like,
Yo, bitch, what's up?
You also,
um,
for the most part, feel like you're pretty in tune with the room a little bit more, just kind of getting a grasp of it, but you don't see anything.
Yeah, sweet.
Where is that? Is that message? That's
no sending.
What?
Hey Lua girl, where the fuck are you? We need to talk to you immediately. It's probably life or death.
I'm just going to
Meet
think
us
in
in
my
the
head really loud.
Yeah.
Hey Lua, can you hear this? Is this how it works? We're trying to figure it out. Please respond.
Saya, if I mimic her voice, would that make you feel better?
I mean,
Hair drawer.
It's Lua.
I'm just.
Why am I picturing Lua's voice as Snape?
It's kind of close if it's more dramatized. So you send that off to her.
Wingardium Leviosa.
She just blows in the back of my neck.
Consider yourself connected. Don't waste any more spell slots. What do you need?
We want to talk to you about your mind linking.
Well, I'm all ears.
So we're trying to get over the river or whatever,
Through the woods.
and Amba needs to be able to see the whole ship. and so he wanted to connect to like a bird or something, and they want to know how to mind link. Can you just like mind link anybody?
Makes perfect sense.
Anything that carries a brainwave, I can probably mind link to.
Damn.
Although, forcing the other party to see through their vision is a bit tricky.
Okay, but you're like a bad bitch, so you can do it.
Perhaps.
Period.
Are we all linked into this now so we can all hear it?
The
happen?
There's
three of
yours
these
fucking
guys
go.
are
Okay.
that are in this room.
Okay. Just randomly hearing a
And
conversation.
you can also hear Melody's thoughts as well during this as you guys are connected. It would take some ingenuity. I would need to know more about the situation, honestly. Perhaps we can meet up at some point.
Oh yeah, right now. Where you at?
You up?
She's like laying
Releasing-
on the bed.
Hey, you up?
Releasing their invisibility spell from Maud's bed,
I know it.
she
Oh,
laying
shit.
down appears.
Is she naked?
No.
How'd I fucking
No,
call
she's wearing
this?
she's wearing her robe, and she looks she
Oh,
twists
just
her
her robe.
she twists her over head over, and her face is very like lacking of emotion.
What would you have done if you would have just like logged onto the bed?
That's their funeral.
It's true.
I kind of
listen,
ship them right now. To be
I'm
honest.
I am not going to step foot in the middle of this. The biggest thing here
As
is
he
we
steps
just
foot in the middle of this.
no, I'm not stepping foot in this.
No, he just.
I'm not.
I'm not about to step foot in
Why'd
the
you
middle
let me
of
into
this.
No,
I'm
he's
not-
he's wrapping his tail around their legs.
I have not stepped my
Yikes.
foot in the middle of the sexual tension.
I like the
Uh,
idea of Chiz walking off to leave them to
That
have
was like,
sex and
are
then
we showing
transforming
this?
on.
I like how everyone else is creating the sexual tension that I didn't even know existed.
I thought it was there. I'm the
It's
one
all
that
right,
was
Classic
hey,
Maud.
hey,
That was a
Classic.
pretty. That was a pretty intimate moment she had with you with the.
That is
Gallows.
actually true. That
That was a
I-
pretty intimate
I
moment.
mean, she stuck her whole thumb in your mouth, I'm sure. Remember?
And then
No, I
she
kinda
went,
just
"Oh,
blacked out."
oh."
That's my 17th base right there. No, the biggest thing is we need, based on what we're trying to do here, we would need Amba to be mentally linked or in some way be able to see through the eyes of a gigantic mechanical rock.
I couldn't help but notice you've shaved. That's something you'd like to explain, Harry Man.
Without the sexual attention is increasing on different areas.
Well, he's like unbuttoning your
Well, the short story is, we did some shit with my blood. I got some more control over the dark shit.
Sneaky shit.
My patron's pretty fucking pissed
That's
off.
not good.
I'm attached to this guy's hip for a little while.
Hi.
Super interesting.
That's the clip notes.
Well, so this person, I'm assuming it's the hooded one from earlier, needs to
I don't know if
have
he's
his
got a
mind
hood.
linked to, what is it you say?
A rock.
Not just a
She-
holder.
She turns over and raises her eyebrows. I'm assuming you're talking about the bird?
Yeah, the bird. ROC.
You have a rock at your disposal?
So Fuzz pulled out like a foot-long scroll that apparently he can like summon a big-ass fucking rock out of that apparently has some mechanical accoutrement. I don't
You
know.
weren't supposed to
it
see
yet.
that. He told you to turn around.
I saw the scroll. I didn't know how it fucking came out of his body. Was that the body? Did he have that inside him?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, keep explaining.
If he
You're doing a
did-
good job.
He's got the sloppy top is impressive.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
What is
for
this
that.
section
I'm so
becoming?
sorry. I am so sorry.
You get a,
I deserve a negative penalty for that. That was so
what's
dumb.
it called?
So
A,
Point
fucking
of exhaustion.
stupid.
a disinspiration.
Yeah, that was so fucking dumb.
Whenever I choose, you roll disadvantage.
And it was right there.
I'll accept that. That
Okay.
was. Sometimes my jokes are big misses. Most of the time.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah. So Fuzzy's got like a whole bird. So the idea is because we need a bird's eye view so we can see the entire ship. So yes, pun intended.
Yes.
So the working idea is with all the other things we're doing is be able to link Amba in some way to the eyesight at least of the rock, so he can, while operating inside of the ship, he can see the whole thing. Because we're basically going to turn it briefly into a flying machine. to fly over the river.
There's a moment of thought. She speaks up.
We also thought about a parachute. But I don't want to do that. That's a crazy idea.
The technicalities of it are interesting. I'm more interested to know how this is going to negatively affect me. What's our environment? What dangers are there going to be?
The river will royally fuck up a lot of people inside this ship, and probably including yourself, if we do not cross it in a timely and efficient manner.
And so there are no risks if we do this gliding plan you talk of? It's going to be a walk in the park, or do I need to possibly prepare for anything else?
I think any plan has its negativities and risks and other things. We have not really broken into the pros and the cons. I imagine as long as Amba's able to have his full energy and full sight, we should be hunky-dory. But we're trying to mitigate the issues with the sight and the energy.
Here's my theory. Where am I going to be in the scheme of this? I'm connecting
wherever you work best. That's up to you, baby.
Well, I'm either. This is where I see this. I'm either on the battlefield with the group of you, being assaulted by whatever might happen during this crossing,
Hopefully
or
not.
I'm up on this rock, safe but on a rock.
A mechanical rock. It's got some mechanical stuff to it.
Interesting. But I need to understand the risks to their fullest extent before I offer any of my services. That's all I'm saying. If you're asking for something for free from me, you're very naive. And I love that about you, but I do need to know where I stand.
Maud just speaks up at this point and says, "What's your price?"
Normally,
I know how this works. We've known each other for long enough now.
Normally, I try and get a little deeper negotiate before we get to the
That's what I'm
cost
doing.
of money. I would like tickle. This feels like a good way for us to get swindled, but
No,
I trust
it's.
I trust you.
I don't think it's a.
Silence bros.
She looks up a bit, kind of thinks to herself. Well, there might be someone I'd be interested in being introduced to. If you'd be able to help me out.
What'd you have in mind?
May we ask who that someone is?
You may.
Who is it?
Well, I suppose
Gonna throw an insight in the chamber here.
you've called him a couple names. If I couldn't call him anything, what was it? Consequence?
Didn't Ember tell me about that or no?
Definitely way over check marks.
I think that you did.
Here's the deal. I focused on you enough to know what I'm talking about. So if you can figure out what I'm talking about, then you got yourself a deal.
So just to be clear, we find a way to introduce this
I don't know
consequence
if I
feller.
gave you his
You don't
name.
even need to find a way. Just promise you can do it. But I'd like to know and fully be confident that you know what I'm talking about. So you're not making an empty promise. Believe me. I have ways of
I
thinking.
really feel like you did.
I don't know
Can
if
I
told
can
you
I
his
do
name.
a
You
even-
talked about this a long time ago. It took a lot of prying.
Is this something that
I
Maud
feel
would
like
know about?
I feel like you did.
But do you
Because
think I told you?
For some reason, this
I
is
thought
like
so. I thought
ringing
you were
no
like,
bells.
if he
Why?
called himself
This was something you guys had multiple punch cards to that only Ember participated in, so you probably recognize the term.
So
If
like,
I told anyone what.
we met him.
I don't think
In
I don't
the
think
mind.
you necessarily said what he did. But
Yeah, you've met him.
Talk
You've
about
met
it.
him in Sanctuary's
Yeah.
mind area. Yeah.
Like in the church, right? When we were in the church and like went into different like windows.
Not even that. It was just during your nighttime sleeps in Sanctuary's lair.
Right? Was he? Is he?
Is he not the one that you made the deal with?
It is.
Is,
So-
is he
so
the one in the suit of
It
armor?
was one of the
No, that was Terminal's
Right.
Eldo.
it was one of the rooms.
It
Right.
would have been. Probably. I think you probably encountered him.
That was
Yeah,
like
you did.
that
You
was
did
like the
encounter
last thing.
consequence during it. You
That was
did
like the
encounter-
last thing that happened before the church starts to like implode.
I was wondering if you encountered consequence in there.
And I think I figured out. Like you told me what you did.
Yeah, let's figure out this consequence guy. We're back to you.
Then you'd have yourself a deal. I'll link you to whatever you need to. Just no skin off my back. Fair enough. Anyway. You here to hang out or dealing with whatever suits you in the time being?
I will definitely let you go. I'm just gonna slide behind Maud, knowing our distance safety, and just be like, I'm gonna try and peek. Just slide by the door. You guys, do what you need to do. Keep me abreast of your distance, so I don't ever leave like the threatened area.
I'm not going.
Did you just ask him about his breast?
No, Melody.
Keep me abreast, in the know. I'm sorry that I occasionally use higher level nomenclature.
Oh god.
He's talking about his KFC order. Okay, he wants us to save him a breast before we take the rest of the chicken from the bucket. Okay.
Which is weird because the thighs are the best.
Yeah, the flies are the flavor. What the fuck?
The rest of the chicken.
The
from
breast is
bucket.
just too dry.
Yeah.
It fills you up too fast.
Of course, Chismar prefers the breast.
Yeah.
What a dumb piece of shit.
Tits and more.
Oh damn. Oh,
Why are you
God.
high fiving your own fucking?
Hell yeah.
It was funny.
He handed it to me. Anyway, Luwak kind of tilts her head over, looks at Melody. You're weirdly quiet.
Yeah, I mean, these fools got a lot to say.
I do my best not to keep my mouth shut.
Your eyes seem more dead than they were before.
Oh shit! You can't just tell a lady that she needs to take a nap.
The wilderness hurts
Sweet of
us
you
in
to
many ways, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh god.
You still carrying around that archaic trident of yours?
I wouldn't call it archaic. If you
I
bought
would.
it.
It's because you haven't been using it properly since you've owned it, darling.
The fuck do you mean by that?
What are you talking about? You can't just pick up some dead man's weapon and expect it to be useful to you.
I mean, it's been pretty useful to me.
Well, maybe that's why you fucked up.
Do you know something more about it that she wouldn't?
All I can tell you is this. Whenever I've been bound with enchanted weaponry, they were made for me. I can't imagine how much you struggle with it now. Perhaps you can find a way around that, but save yourself some suffering, darling.
Do you maybe have a lead on how she would be able to get around that limitation? Maybe rebind it to herself?
Make a persuasion check, Maud.
Do it.
Oh, that is a net
Mm.
one. My modifier. I mean, I have a decent
My
modifier.
mod.
That
Your
one doesn't
mod.
matter.
No.
I'm gonna
She
say.
kills Mon on the spot.
I'm gonna say.
Touches you like fisty, just turns you into a tree.
I'm gonna say, don't bother Maud. I'm getting the impression that she knows exactly how to help.
And what's in it for me?
Do you have somebody else you want to meet?
Winning, proving to me that I fucking suck with a pitchfork. I don't.
See?
Or maybe you want to maybe you want to do like the manly like sports thing where you like hug me from behind and show me how to use it.
What are we
Make
talking
another-
about?
It's not
here?
one of your books.
How about you make a persuasion check this time?
What is
I'm
happening?
the bard. 'Tis my role.
We don't have to be stereotypes.
You're a fucking cat.
Got him.
Yeah,
How's
you
that
deserve
feel?
You
How's
deserve
that feel, bitch? How's it feel, breast boy?
I'm gonna use my inspiration
Such
even
a
though that was
fucking
really
bird.
good. Yep, nope, that's 19.
Breast boy.
Well done.
It's a 19 persuasion.
I have a +7 to my persuasion. I fucking
Hey,
hate it.
suck.
Loser.
Shit.
She looks up for a moment, and then a grin kind of crosses her face.
I could have used my inspiration there.
And she slowly stretches
Does her robe
Flips
come
her-
open when she stretches?
leg over this
Sorry.
kind of rope.
I
her
pictured
leg
her in
over
like
the
a
bed.
bathrobe.
Just tits out,
Crosses over, full tit falls out.
and she puts her hand on her chin. So, you probably remember a little town called Pelgrass.
Never heard of it.
Been familiar with it, yeah.
You probably remember, in that case, a man by the name of Dublin Bluff.
I recall.
You should. You're the group that murdered him.
It was very
That
satisfying.
is the
Oh.
older brother of Triplin.
And I hope it was. The man was a ripe penis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if our town is ever to go back to the way it was before, we're going to need somebody to run his part of the riffraff. I expect you to fill his place until we find a proper replacement.
You want me to be on what, the fucking board of the town?
I want you to take care of the derelict portion of our city. Keep them in line. After all, you are the one that put them out of business. If you can, at least in the prospect that this war keeps our town in shape after this blows over, then by all means, I'll grant you my gratitude.
Only if I get to do things in a way that, in my own way.
That's entirely up to Valerie. She takes most of the votes into consideration, but I'm sure you'd be able to persuade her. I'm very lackadaisical in my government portion, so you don't have to worry for any conflict from me. But it would get you off the streets, hon. If you're this disillusioned with your government, then at least somewhere local puts you at least in a place of worth. Not calling you worthless, but I mean, let's be honest. Deal?
Sure.
You're going to need someone that works with enchantments, glyphs, someone that's able to write soul sigil. They should be able to rewrite whatever this bind is that's on the torch. Reallocate it to something that's more of your persuasion. You might find yourself much better off.
Okay, and do you just like have somebody laying around that can do that?
No? Not here. But you have quite the knowledge of folk these days. I'm sure you can figure someone out that meets that persuasion.
I don't really know if I can just pop into the Celestian at any point in time.
The Celestian's the one that wrote this barbaric formula. You're gonna want to find someone else. Maybe you can find someone more local. Who knows? The people on this side of the hemisphere aren't as talentless as you think they are.
I didn't really say that they weren't.
Well, then get to it. Either way, you hold up your ends of the deal, and I'm by all means more than happy to link some brains together. I'm gonna go down to the bar district. See you later. And she stammers out of the room. As she walks by, she gives just a slight smile to you as she walks by.
I'm gonna flop back on my bed and go, God, she's fucking annoying.
If you need somebody to help manage your jurisdiction and campaign districts, it's a pet project.
I'm just gonna toss the weapon.
He's gonna be
to
aware are
Jules.
they now? These guys are just running a nice suburb back in town. Just like, remember that time we helped finish a war?
I've given all the homeless people jobs.
And you're making
That's exactly what we should do.
Beershades of the main commute through town now, and you're like,
No, the dark side of Chismar is just him being that HOA Karen with the ruler in the grass. Like,
no!
ooh, sorry, your grass is half an inch too tall.
Couldn't help but notice
Listen.
your trash can was out 3 minutes past when the trash can.
Listen,
came.
guys, we've had this discussion time and time again. You have to make sure we're painting in neutral tones.
Anything beyond a neutral shade draws too much attention from the street.
Is fuchsia a neutral tone?
No!
What about pubes?
It is
No!
colorblind.
Wait, did you
Eggshells,
say
creams,
Did you say
grayscale.
pubes or pubes? Because
Oh,
Pubes
God.
for sure.
pubes. Okay, well, yeah, pubes are kind of,
Okay, okay.
Meanwhile, you look
So-
around and see Beckett's house just rainbow painted.
She stammers past you guys and leaves the room. What are you guys doing from here before we continue on?
Right
Right?
now,
I-
it's blind spots.
I mean, I'll be honest. That's kind of.
Oh. I didn't
Well,
get
okay.
it.
I guess
Like,
I'll
all
ask
the
this
way
question.
around. Like,
Do we know any of you, either of you fuckheads know how we can figure out this consequence, motherfucker?
I mean, I just, I'm dealing with.
You guys
I'm
would
dealing
have
with
probably met this guy in Sanctuary.
Okay, well, I mean, we can
You're not
go.
completely left without clues.
I mean, we can go inside of the dream.
yeah, let's just, let's,
Stick a nap.
well, I mean, we should probably, like, regroup with our friends
I
first.
put a pillow over my face.
Okay.
Just keep pushing down until you don't feel anything.
Mm.
Then all your troubles will go away.
Let's not go to sleep just yet.
This
Let's,
episode has a
Let's-
trigger
let's-
warning
let's-
of self-harm and a particular mark of the video.
What?
no, we should probably stay awake for the time being
Kayla, what was your high five
and
for?
wait to see if
What is
the
it?
rest of our
He's
party
gay.
needs help with anything.
I was gonna say, unless we want to go deal with sanctuary, go to sanctuary right now. I say, yeah, let's
He's
go
just
back,
like, I don't know what her problem is.
regroup, center stage, because we can let them know we need to go talk to sanctuary to
Yeah.
talk to consequence.
And who
See
knows,
if we can
they-
talk to consequence.
They may want to join us. So.
Yeah, so I think regrouping's a mighty fine idea.
Mighty fine idea.
Cool. That's,
Yes, sometimes I have a little bit more of a rustic way of speaking.
you haven't noticed this? Okay. Guy's basically a hillbilly.
Moving from here,
You find that
you
too
rolled
offensive.
last, right? In the.
That doesn't actually.
No, I got an 11.
So you're the one that
Beckett's
rolled
next.
like 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Phone call, political phone call, political phone call.
We're gonna transition from here over back. We're back in the quarters here, and you guys all split off. Beckett, you're left with Dogma in this room.
Can you get us a way to get in contact with the officials in Malandar?
I can give you a number to the ambassador that I made my initial deal with. You need to convince him. Yeah, I guess there are multiple ways. You could threaten him. We will go to war if we are not given some sort of deal, a persuasion for their wrongdoings against us. After all, the conflict of this war, hence the Legion coming and annexing one of our rogue states, has caused the death of our people and subsequently destroyed our deal of peace against any of their affairs. The only way I can see this being a peaceful avenue with me is if I can get my people to safety.
I'll do what I can.
For now, they are no longer safe in their homes.
I'll do my best.
I will give you the number, and if that does not work, we will think from there.
Right.
He begins
Um,
dialing the number here.
I guess what I know, and if not, I would want to ask, like, how do like government officials feel about like the gray coats?
You're calling someone from. Okay, make a. Just make a history check here. What the fuck is that, Dylan? That's
Open the
probably
door.
Dylan.
He's like watching it on his phone right now, like, yeah, it's me, bitches.
I may have known he was coming.
What?
Church!
Take me to church.
I'm churching on the church.
Hey!
I'm
It's a bitch.
churching on
I did not have a proper chair.
Oh, he's
sorry.
got one of them church buzzes.
Can trade you.
Church.
I got a
was-
17.
Yeah, church buzz ball.
17.
Yeah.
Andrew just looked up.
Okay.
What?
For one, the Grey Coats are they're a direct off faction of the Maladar Assembly. They're
Okay.
a group that joined up and has kind of merged with them to be with it. The Grey Coats are the ones that have started this war and effectively started a golden age within the Maladar Assembly, or the Malik Assembly. The Grey Coats are pretty well received.
Okay.
At least with the higher ups, because so far everything seems to be going pretty well.
I have to get this off my chest now because I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about it. Dylan, you look just like Minecraft Steve. Anyway, let's continue.
Chicken jockey!
Still haven't seen it.
It's just the exact right shade of blue.
So I'll ask Dogma. What do you think would be a better approach? Coming at it as a previous citizen of Malindar, or as someone who has ties to the Greycoats?
Continuing, this is the person that made it with me. I would come off as a representative of myself.
Alright. Sounds
That
good.
is what I would do. But I'm sure you are more charismatic than I am.
We'll see what we can do. Alright, I'll bust out a phone and type in the phone number.
Okay.
911. And I'll go ahead and like put it on speaker too, just
Okay.
so like
Just
For
so
total-
Dogma's in the room with you, and he can
Yeah.
commit. So Taurus and Dogma are in the room with you. Dolly's manning the ship.
Okay.
And you guys are in this area here, listening as this rings. It picks up and it answers in Malik. Captain Dobshin. Who is this?
hello, this is Beckett.
There's a moment of pause. Under what jurisdiction?
I'm calling on behalf of Rosadolo.
There's a longer pause here. Yes, and Darby couldn't call me himself.
I need to talk to someone who can guarantee safe passage for the citizens of Rosadolo. Also with some important intel on Legion happenings.
The deal was very clear. You stay out of the desert, you leave us alone. No negotiations.
Alright, we'll call back after the Legion comes and destroys your fucking land. Because they're already over here. They're gonna find a way to cross the bed and they're gonna come kill you.
We are aware of the Legion. They have nothing to do with Rosadolo affairs. You can't just glom on to an ongoing conflict and expect us to be intimidated.
Speaking as someone who was part of the Legion at one point, I can guarantee you that whenever they decide to attack Malindar, you will not survive. If you would like the help of... I look at Dogma as like a number of like 4,000? 5,000? 10,000?
Close enough.
If you'd like the help of 10,000 willing people that have braved the dangers of the desert, maybe there's some negotiations to be had after all.
So let me just ask again. Why are these negotiations coming out of the blue? What possible part of our deal makes this an adequate debate point on my end? What? We've kept to our deal. You've kept to yours. Why should we budge?
Because things have changed. The Legion is in Malik now. The Legion has destroyed entire outposts within the rogue states. They're getting more and more willing to do things within Malik. So if you would like the help, if you would like to survive, I would recommend maybe talking about some negotiations.
First off, make an insight check.
Okay.
Over to Dogma, who is listening to this actively.
12?
12, you can kind of see him saying, like, mouthing, "They have violated the treaty. We are well within our rights to attack."
Unmute it real fast.
Yeah.
How did they violate it?
They brought their conflict to us.
They brought their what?
They brought their conflict to us. Their war brought to my people. There are many dead because of their trifles.
Alright. I'll unmute it again. There are people on this side of the war that want to see the safety of Malik people and the downfall of the Legion. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to see those two things happen. If you are not open to negotiations, I think there are larger conflicts coming sooner than you think. If you're open to negotiation, I think it can provide a stronger, more unified Malik assembly that we can protect ourselves from future Legion attacks.
With you bringing up the breach of the treaty and the aid to the fight, make me a persuasion check.
30-20.
Okay. Was the DC?
Nice.
There's a way. And just who exactly are you with? Just a subordinate of Rossadalo?
As I said before, I'm calling behalf of Rossadalo. I would not consider myself a subordinate. I would not consider myself a member. I would consider myself a concerned Malik citizen who wants to see peace and prosperity come back to our area.
Well, if you don't consider yourself Rossadalo, then who do you consider yourself? Who do you side with? Who are you fighting for?
I'm fighting for myself.
That's not good enough for me. I need to know who you're allied with.
As of this moment, I'm allied with Rossadalo, but I would not consider myself a member of Rossadalo. I am allied with the greater good of the Malik Assembly. I'm allied with finishing this war and finding a nice shack and living alone and in peace.
You have to understand my caution. Anyone I don't recognize can simply pick up a phone and make a deal. I need some sort of certificate, some sort of proof that you fight for us. Who do you know? Who do you stand with? If you're not willing to push that, then it's not worth the risk. A bunch of stragglers in the desert are no use to us.
Have you ever been to the desert?
No, I've made my right choices.
So you don't know the dangers that present themselves in the desert. You don't know what kind of toughness that breeds in a person. You don't know what the people who are scared for their lives are willing to do to find safety and sanctuary.
All I can tell is the worst of the worst are pushed from our society. You're telling me a group of several dozen desert men are going to make a difference here?
Does
Inside check.
15?
Roll like shit. Roll like shit.
You get the sense this man really, after all this time, has no scope of how big Rasagalo has gotten. And hasn't been convinced yet.
Okay.
Albeit he's still interested in the conversation, he's just not. He doesn't see, like, oh, okay, a group of survivors is going to make a dent against a militia from the other side of the planet that controls this magic source.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna do this. No
Okay.
one else in our party is here.
Hey.
There it is, big guy.
What if I told you that I had access to one of the Arknights and a direct link to another one that I can provide you with?
Whoa.
That's the move right there.
There's a pause. Explain. We
Currently,
already have access over 3 of the 5
currently we
Arcanines.
have General Fauna with us, and I have a direct link with. I can never remember. Is it Scope?
Yeah.
We have a direct link with Scope and can give you intel on where he is, and basically with that information be able to cripple the Legion and make them not be an issue for us.
Scope, I can listen to. All our records show Fauna has been slayed in Alkanasha.
Fauna is alive and well, I was gonna say well, but alive and with us now.
And why would we not know this? This could change the tides of our plans. Would Fauna be a threat?
If he found out about this conversation, he probably would be. I think of the 5, he's the most amenable to talks.
The Moon Lanterns assured us the Arknights were no longer an issue.
The Moon Lanterns have said a lot of things. And I can guarantee you most of them are not true.
Okay.
I think you need to take a closer look at who you are willing to follow.
You're gonna make another persuasion here.
'Kay.
This is you're trying to sway his.
Jesus.
He pulled a
That's
big
lucky.
bullet out of the chamber, though.
Dirty 20 again.
Another dirty 20.
Yeah.
Is that
Love the
worst you
reliable
can do?
talent.
That's the worst you can do.
Yeah. I rolled a 4,
I mean,
but
that's Jesus. I mean, it works if you picked it as your expertise.
Yeah.
There's
You should get in my lap.
just this
Yeah, get in my lap. Come here.
thoughts here.
Not anymore.
I'm not asking you to completely change your allegiance. I'm just warning you that not everything is as it seems.
And what would that be?
God, Kyle.
How would they stand strong when they've only promoted us and supported us?
We have another in our party that would be willing to explain more to you
I'm sorry.
once some peace talks can be arranged.
Would that be a name we'd know?
The orientation I grabbed.
Do you
from
know who Amba is?
There's another silence.
There was also a sanctuary dropped by.
I know.
Felt good.
Speaks
saying
up.
that.
I'm starting to get a feeling. I know who I'm talking to.
Didn't introduce himself.
This is nameless, right?
I just kind of.
You don't need to answer. I'm not trying to cause any more problems. I know that you are defecting. Just tell me what you need.
I need a safe haven for all these people.
And there's like a restlessness in his voice. The rumors use the safety of outcasts. Why? What? How does this benefit you? None of this adds up. Please, I have a family. If
I think I interrupt him right there and do my mastermindy thing and change my voice.
Yeah, here we go. Now we're talking.
Because you've heard Nameless speak, right?
My Nameless also can do this.
Yeah. And I'll like just change like this
Or, like, I thought for a second
really
we were getting, like, a
deep
crazy
voice and just say,
And none
"You
of us
dare
agree.
question me?"
You question me, bitch. He starts crying.
I can.
Bring this message to your leaders. Guarantee safe haven for them.
And in exchange, there's no conflict.
I'll do what I can.
Very well. And then the phone clicks.
Holy shit, guys! Jesus Christ!
My favorite part was
What
when
is
Jesus anything
What
goes
the
into
fuck?
it.
What the fuck were you talking about? What
There's-
was that shit?
There's this guy that is like super bad that they think I am, and so I just went with it.
I rolled a 2 on my insight. I'm like, he's gotta mistake this guy for someone really important. And he's just he's refusing to elaborate anything that's important, and it's super cryptic and you're threatening. He's like, I know, he knows people in the lights. He's like, I'm talking to Nameless right now. And you changed your voice. That was the thing that sold him.
I was with Kayla where I was like,
I
oh
was
my God,
like-
is this where we find out that
That
Becca's
train, that
famous the
bacon,
whole time?
That would
Well,
be,
reveal
that would be a
of
super funny
No,
way to
no, because
Yes.
Beckett was with us when Maud had that thing happen to him.
That is a pretty good. That is a good. Pretty
Yeah,
good
but that doesn't
alibi.
mean
For
you
now.
can hire
I was
someone.
like thinking back. Like, no, Beckett was with us when that happened.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Oh.
That was scary.
Oh.
Good job.
So you think
Holy
that would work
shit.
for us? You think
It-
they really?
It sounds like it.
Fuck yes!
Oh.
Scored.
On
Well,
you like,
I am a little concerned now if they're still on Nameless's side because he's.
Who
super
gives a
bad.
shit? We are gonna people pardoned. Don't care about whose side they are. People can be escorted back in. That was the guy. That is the original man I made this deal with.
he's all fucking amped up.
He was my. Oh fuck yes.
You would be too.
Give me that shit.
Remind me of that later because I was going to say about that. It's not good.
For now, we pick up as many people from the rock state as possible. We work from there. Cheers to you.
Ramps! And I punch him in the arm.
Ramps!
Ramps!
Ow. No, I'm significantly smaller than you.
Ramps!
Okay, Ramps.
Okay, Rams.
We're going to transition to Amber and Amba.
Ember and Amber.
Amber and Amba. Amber and Amba.
Ember and
Okay,
Amber.
okay.
Bim, bim, bim.
Transitioning, everyone escorts to the ramp here. You're left here with Jormungand, who comes up to you guys. Well, honestly, Churchill would be involved in this situation as well. But a little keeping up from where we left off. They're trying to find an engineer that would be able to help Amba understand the machinations of the entirety of the ship,
You're
and
just sitting at my desk with a
a
book.
way to understand large aircrafts, and a way to, to
You're like,
get that in his mind so he'd be able to build a formula to actively pass us over this river here. Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
I have some dice if you want to roll dice. Watch out for those, they're really bouncy.
So, come back.
They're really
Going
small.
to twice. Fucking man nice.
What?
I don't know, man.
16 on the die. Probably not higher than that for
Chicken
history.
and rice. Burgers and fries. Kiss my ass. Hey,
That's what's in.
I need to stand up for a bit. My back is still fucked.
No.
15.
Oh no.
15?
Yes.
That's not terrible. That's not terrible.
That's negative 1 modifier.
Okay.
Church doesn't give a shit about history.
My back.
Hey, that's fair.
Albeit there are several
Lower back.
architects and
Yeah.
engineers above the ship, not very many. Honestly, within Rosagola, there are very few Sojirs. You're one of the few, along with Jormungand, the trio that makes up Dogma, and a couple others that stand out. A lot of them are simply foot soldiers that are armed to the teeth with automatic weaponry. You would know there's a figure that kind of holds himself up in the kind of the bowels of the ship within the machinations of the piping and stuff that studies alone. A figure that has been responsible for getting this ship back up and running, aside from the sigils that helped the ship go underground. That was Taurus. Someone initially was able to repair the ship altogether. You probably haven't talked to them in a couple years. It's a guy named Mo. A very unfortunate fellow that spends most of his time reading downstairs. If anyone knows anything about the machinations of this ship and modifications that can be done to it, it'd be him.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's where I lead them.
Alright.
Down into the bowels of the boat.
From there, Amba and Ember begin departing from the group here, leaving Beckett and him alone to that conversation that was going off before. The other one's looking for Luau. You guys head downwards and take this series of elevators down this ship here until eventually it goes below, like into what would normally be in a cruise ship, like where those floors where only the crew would occupy here. Each of those areas here would open up, and it's just this very humid area here where there's a lot of machinery, this very loud area here, the steam kind of echoing them out. And you guys follow Church down this hallway here until eventually you reach the far back of the ship here, towards this big door here and this hard iron wheel here to open this up. It's suddenly very old-timey. Ow! You give this, just for the sake of how barricaded this person is here, give me a athletics check trying to open this up. Or if you wanted to actually get a hold of them, you could try something else. Well, not giving many options.
11.
Okay, 11.
Yep.
Okay. By yourself, the wheel creaks for a few, but that doesn't really do you any good. It's around this point you kind of realize your part of the bargain. We made this for you while you were gone. Your job in this ordeal is to go off and figure out a way to power up Amba's device in order to create an illusion of this size. So from here, you might be like, you guys get his attention. I gotta go fix this, or you can keep going. It's up to you. Because this is their thing. You had your own thing that we were gonna do.
Yeah, I'll split and let them handle it.
Okay. Then, thank you for the help.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thanks, Church.
Alright, I mean, I can generally teleport to places where I can see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to end up at a wall or anything.
Right.
Well, I mean, we could just try to warp in there if you want to. Or we could...
Start knocking on the door.
Yeah, knocks on the door. There's silence here. There's no one answers.
Mm.
Yeah, that was all I had.
I mean, I think I have this thing where I can like dimension door, but hold on.
What are you guys doing? You guys are very ominous in the corner there. It's
So-
like those two dudes looking to fuck at the club.
Yeah.
So it's so
I just
what's
can't sit
what's
down.
this door look like?
It's 'cause that chair's.
It's like, you know, those old submarines, this big iron door with the
Okay.
wheel that turns.
Okay. Does it have like a window?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's the only thing you have.
My back's still just fucked.
Is that that?
I've got my Misty Step.
Would Misty Step be able to get us through there?
I'd be able to get me through there, and then I could try to open the door. Well, no. Or maybe we should just dimension door. It's the same thing.
I'm down for whatever. I could try mine as well. It's the same either way. I just have no idea what goes on behind this.
You got clairvoyance?
No, I know. I was just thinking about that. Have that on another character of mine.
Just use them then.
Oh, okay.
I do that all the time.
Okay, sure. Let's just bring Theo
I
into
play like
this.
10 different characters for an Angels campaign, just whichever one works for that.
Yeah.
That's why you're nameless. That makes sense.
Played them all. I was mods. Freaking operator. I was the bartender. I was a guy running a facility. It was all great.
Fucking nailed it.
It's just dimension door. Okay.
Alright. I'm with you. I trust you with my life.
I'm doing it?
Big mistake.
I don't have to mention door.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I have my static ripper. I could just
Oh.
I could try if that's something.
Does that cost Amba a spell slot?
No, it is machinery.
Let's do it.
Just when his head pokes down from a ceiling. We had an entire conversation about how the Ripper
so
was.
scared.
We had a whole arc about this.
We
Actually,
had a whole bit about spell slots versus physical energy.
This is the portable
Pops out of frame.
Vicebrick. This is the portable Vicebrick superconverter. It's the voice. All right, stand close.
Oh, I'm freaking out. Okay.
We're suddenly in a white vortex area, and you see Amba kind of point forward a little bit. This should be safe. Here we go. Roll a d20.
Didn't you just tell me to?
Actually, a d4. Take a risk.
Well, let's do the baby one. 3.
3. Okay. Just didn't want to get a 1. Suddenly we're in this large area here that's this big, it's like you're inside this giant, what's it called? Like a big silo. This area in the middle here that has this huge stool that's amped up here with something sitting at the center of it. And that coats this area here is just strewn about these books. You see a figure here. First thing that's weird, which you shouldn't notice immediately, is a figure with patchwork clothing all over it, from the pants to the shirt, because it needs it. The entity that's sitting before you is not built like a normal entity. It is, well, as humans build their symmetry from one side to the other, this seems to be built more like a barnacle, or
Like from the inside out.
from inside out. You see, from the center out, 4 pairs of legs, 4 pairs of arms.
God.
This entity here that had what we could only identify as a carrot sprout of hair that's flowered down over them, 4 sets of faces. With eyes that are opening and closing between different pages of different hands holding up here. Picking them up, twisting the books around, tossing them, and eventually grabbing another one here. Until eventually it stops and all the books fall to the ground and all the eyes on the faces shut except for one, the one that's facing in your direction. Picks up and the slack jar just
Thanks, Annie.
hello. Hello don't remember an invitation. And you see its hands creep up, but only the two and only the feet here just kind of push from the stool that's on the smallest set of wheels here, just inches it forward here. Just inches forward. And as it just comes closer here, it's maybe 3 times the size of the both of you here. As it inches up here, it's like, Yami sent me a gift. How may you help me? As it brings its hand down here and just moves the hair aside from your face. You see Amba here just like
Me? You're the one that knows what you need.
First off,
Make a Constitution saving.
no, seriously, make just a straight wisdom saving throw here.
Oh my god. Wisdom save.
Yeah.
Have we had
We had a long rest from the party the other night.
oh, so it's been past 24 hours. I was like, didn't we have a hero's feast not too long ago? Okay.
It's been a little bit since then.
Cool. That's an 8.
An 8.
It's an 8.
Okay, there's a strike of frighten among you here as this billowing figure
I didn't need to roll
moves
for
its
that. I'm already frightened.
unwavering fragileness of its long finger across and move your hair, and it twists down as its weird head just kind of greets you with a
Schematics?
They'll have to be more specific.
We're looking for schematics. I'm like looking to Amba, like, for some help. Oh my god.
We're here on behalf of Dogma, the army. As you said, this was we were told you were an architect of sorts that could possibly tell us about the machinations of the ship, possibly of different types of architecture of flying aircraft. We're trying to travel a distance in which the ship is not properly meant to travel. I was hoping, we were hoping that maybe you could give us some insight, maybe some of the schematics of the blueprints of the place that could give us some insight on that matter.
Please.
Okay. I'm just gonna add on to yours with that. You roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh god. I'm terrible at charisma.
I'm not gonna make my
Oh.
NPC win all your battles.
You said with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 12.
Okay, 12.
Oh god.
It suddenly violently kicks its heel off the ground and pushes backward a bit, and its arms kind of flail in the air here. Firstly, perhaps you could do yourselves a bit of an introduction, if you're willing to intrude so easily. Go on!
Yes, I am Ember.
Hi there, Amba. No relation.
That's pretty good.
It's like brother and sister names.
Anemone.
Nimini?
You call me Mo. I could possibly find some things for you. One moment. And suddenly, the face that was facing you goes slack. Its eyes close, its mouth hangs open. And you see just barely on the other side one open, and it starts kicking in that direction here, like towards the walls. And suddenly these books that are lying across here, flipping open, index thrown, flipping open, appendix flipping open. And as it tries to twist its neck, halfway through it fails. That face was slack shut, the other one opens up back to when it was again.
Ah! I hate this thing.
So, do tell me what Dogma has planned for us.
Yeah, we're seeking passage. We've gotten people. It's not sanctuary. That's not the word I'm looking for.
not one of those guys. It's what Beckett did. He was just trying to ensure safe passage for everyone on the boat, and so now he's hopefully secured that. So now it's our chance to try to travel with the boat across the water, not through the water, so a war doesn't happen. We're trying to negate war happening. And something about ramps. But that's not why we're here. We're here for what you're looking for.
Dogma's finally grown soft.
I think diplomatic is the word you're looking
Well,
for.
maybe he doesn't trust the constitution of my device.
I don't think that's it. I think just changing it a little.
There's no changing perfection.
Gotcha. You got that. Gotcha. You
Then-
got that.
Ambulance says, it's not necessarily changing, it's inspiration. We're not using your ideas, we're building on it.
Evolving.
Exactly.
Evolving.
No, we maybe perhaps try to find. We parachute to greater heights based off of your findings, knowing that what you built from here would possibly save countless lives in the process. I don't ask for much. Maybe a few books, maybe a few hours of your time. I need to understand just exactly. I need to understand how this place works. If you're the one that got this place operational, I can't do this without you. And I would surely love to save Dogma's disciples. Hopefully you would do the same. Face creaks down again. The disciples here live a debaucherous life. They've never meant much to me. Never talked much to me.
I don't know why you're a great conversationalist, honestly. Sir. I'm not being sarcastic.
Question mark.
You see kind of the facial expression melt off of him here.
Being serious.
The arms sprout in the air.
I hate it.
And just as this happens, Almo's like, wait, a moment! I can prove it! I can do something! Tell me, have you ever, by chance, wanted to, and he makes a look at the stool and sees that it's built so fortified. Make a, just make a perception check here. The stool is heavily fortified compared to the legs, which are so nimble and so weak.
Oh.
This guy can't move without this. Perhaps maybe you, at one point in your life, decided that locking suited you.
Is it because of the space, like he's too big, or like his
It's
legs
just that he's just so maldeveloped at this point that if he didn't have that stool, he probably couldn't get around.
Okay. No, we're gonna give him legs.
And suddenly the figure, its spine stiffens upwards in this centrifugal way. You can see just the ribs around it that fully coat around it in a 360 way here. Just straighten up fully. And within a moment, just it goes from this crushed spider position to, and this trail of dust just billows off of it here from its just lack of extreme movement for so long. What have you done to me? What have you done to me? And you could stop it if you want. its legs over the stool and walks around his library and gets real up close to the books, keeping its elbows real close to it, knocking them off gingerly. My joints. I could just keep you. Even now I'm too weak. Back on the stool. I can make this world anything I want it to be. I can turn this ship into the world's largest aircraft. And I can fly every single person here to safety. But we need you. My friend here has the memory of a goddess. She could keep these tabs on me while I learn. All I need is the info. If you have it, we won't bother you any further. We'll work in silence with their encyclopedias. Maybe I throw in a favor or two in the meantime. Maybe you'd like to leave this room? Do you have anything to add to this before we do a group persuasion check here? No? Okay, then it's not going to be with advantage.
Imra's like, I will just ruin
She's
this.
just like nodding. You're terrible, charisma. Why would I say anything?
Wait, give me advantage.
Listen, it doesn't stop.
Oh,
It doesn't stop me.
That's the thing. It would give him advantage.
yeah.
Your persuasion wouldn't go in.
Okay.
Jack goes up behind and goes, yeah.
Slaps his
Yes!
ass.
Just being a hype man.
Yeah, I'm just T-Pain.
T-Pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not
Little
T-Pain.
John.
Whatever.
Little John.
What?
Get your iconic early to mid 2000s rap art. It's correct.
Nah.
The creature here furrows its eyebrows here to look very concerned. And this machine of yours, if it works so well in your capable hands, I'm sure it works even better with mine. What's to stop me from taking it from you here? Fixing my woes of my own accord.
Oh
But
no.
of course you don't know the language of it. I mean, learning is learning. You'd have to lose a limb, and sure you have plenty of those to go around. But dogma would not stand for it. We've saved the lives for your cause. If you support him, I can only hope you would support me. Even if it's not for the morality. Do it. Do it for the knowledge. Think of what we could learn from this. After all, what I plan to do has never been done before. There's a silence.
Yes.
Kicks off the ground from the stool, kind of pushes itself back to center. And for a moment, you don't feel like it's acknowledged you. It closes its eyes on that face. It goes slack-jawed. Then other ones open up, close eyes. All different iterations. Books being pulled off, flipped open, looked at, tossed back in their spots. All very Dewey Decimal. Everything's super organized. And eventually, just without, as if though, like 10 minutes have passed of just randomness happening and just everyone being too quiet and like naive to say anything, eventually one of these hands brings a book down to you.
A
It's a tome. These books are meant for bigger eyes. It's probably about. It's like the size of a suitcase.
I got big brains. That's okay.
Like a carry-on or like a check bag?
Good cue.
It's a carry-on. I'm not gonna be.
Holy
Does
shit!
it fit inside this
God
box?
damn.
It's not that big. Jesus, this carry-on's like, oh damn, this hardback's bullshit.
You were definitely having to lay that somewhere and do
Grab
the
it.
big creaking open of the
Drop.
page.
All right. Well,
Is this like a library situation? Like we can take it with us, or do like we have to keep it here, like in the restricted section?
I'm not going to lie to you. Kind of like the risk. Let's read here.
Ooh.
Alma sits down, fully takes off his helmet, waves his dreads in the air. Alright, I expect you to be the memory for me. Flips open the book.
I like it better without the helmet on. Though.
Thanks, I'm twice as useless without it on.
No, you're not.
I literally can't use my powers without it.
Doesn't mean you're useless.
Yeah,
Just take the compliment.
thank you.
So we just read.
From here, we're going to transition over to church. Leaving here. Your ultimate job here is trying to find a way to create a power source good enough to help Amba fully transform this ship into an airplane. You would have to. Well, what would you, Dylan, do to try to figure that out?
I'd probably start by going to wherever the power generator is on the ship.
Okay.
Watch out for
First
the
off,
time
just go
period.
ahead and roll a d20, add your intelligence modifier to it.
Eight.
8. Okay. It's a little obscure for you because going down to the boiler districts and whatnot is not really where combatants spend a lot of their time at. So you kind of have to go off of word of mouth. You end up in this kind of breaker room facility, this area with a whole bunch of computer servers with a bunch of engineers typing away at. You don't necessarily think this would be the place that things could get done, but maybe people here might be able to point you in the right direction.
Does it appear that there is a manager of sorts here? Is there someone overseeing the people typing on the
Give me a perception check. Jesus. This isn't a super expansive area here. You could probably see someone that's not actively typing and someone that's micromanaging, which is a good sign. Like, okay, this guy is above pay grade, yet probably not as talented, but maybe could give me some answers.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to approach them.
Yeah, walk up to them. Hey!
And they immediately speak. They're speaking Eastern Folly folk. Do you speak Eastern Folly folk?
No idea.
I don't know if you pick languages. For this, you
That's
are
so
an
bad.
you are an Eastern Folly. I'll say you do.
Okay.
Churchill. What brings you down here?
I need to talk to whoever's in charge of power generation and directing power through the ship.
Oh, I figured you were here to rabble-rouse about the organization of the place. That's kind of a breath of fresh air. I figured you guys were going to scrutinize us. So, like, the actual power generations of this place?
Yep. We gotta
We have-
redirect it.
Oh. Well, our power supplies aside from just emergency stuff that help fuel basic necessities around here, haven't ran for years. We focus on the glyphs that Lady Taurus have been using. The generator became obsolete once we started traveling exclusively underground. We'd probably have to find someone that used to operate that. I can probably look through our records to see if anyone of that sort is still on the ship. And I can direct you from there.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. They move over and this character... You know what? Follow me to my office. Figure something else out. Brings you back there and there's this whole little room here. It's like a circular little tomb office. Brings in this computer that's just built with all these cords into the wall here as the hardwire for actual knowledge is just exclusively for this place, so it's just kind of built differently. Types away. Well, I don't necessarily see anyone here that's still on the ship. I mean, maybe a straggler too among the rogue states. Honestly, if you're wanting to kick those guys back up and running, you might have to do it yourself.
Okay.
I don't mean to be like pessimistic. This is just I never thought we'd need to use the engines again. I thought Dogma had phased those out.
Yeah, well, we need it to make it a plane.
There's a flinch upon them here, and then just the upper guys with their lingo. In either way, I can hand you the schematics to the power grids around here. If you guys want to gather up people, maybe we can jerry-rig something. What exactly did you need it for?
How the fuck am I supposed to read those?
A plane, you said?
From my understanding, we are going to channel it all into a person who has the capabilities to transmodify this into something that can fly over the river.
And all this is just, that's a crazy statement, but they think about it above my pay grade. If that's the case, I would need to see the device, in theory, that we're hooking this up to. You said we're needing power to power something up. That thing we need to power up. I suppose first things first, we need to either get the blueprints for it or get the device itself, so we can create proper converters to be able to hook it up to our power supply. The machines here are old, they haven't run forever, but I mean, in theory, an on switch is an on switch. As far as we know, if we can turn it on and it doesn't immediately blow the machine up, it should be able to charge it. I can start contacting some people to get you some schematics, but for now, the biggest thing you need to do is get a hold of the device so we can work on converting cords and whatnot. This might take a few. You might worry about that from here.
Alright, I can do that.
Okay. The character goes back to its machine and starts typing away. It's like, this was not something I was expected to ask. I was having so much fun micromanaging today. I'm assuming you go back down to the boilers.
Yep.
Back to Anemone's room.
Yep.
You're studying here for a while. And eventually, our characters here are reading. Just hear a knock at the door. And there's just a silence among us here. And then one of the faces opens up, facing us, and raises an eyebrow.
Mo, are the other two still in there?
Hearing the voice. Friends of yours.
Well, they seem to know you.
I need you to send the one with the helmet out.
is a.
One with the
You wouldn't
That's
happen
best
to,
described.
and as he says this, an arm creaks up, just goes all the way over. This is like that guy with the long arms from Spirited Away. Just brings his arm over and just grabs it and just crank. You see this line of red dust, or red rust, just kind of pull off. It goes downwards, and the doors.
I thought he squished the helmet.
What?
I thought he squished the helmet.
It just kills Amba. Yeah. Spider!
Picks him up.
You're brought into here, and honestly, you've heard of Mo. You've never seen Mo. Mo doesn't leave this room. Mo cannot leave this room. So you walk in and you see this entity here, this just coral reef of a person. And the arm that popped it off, now coated with this rust on its hands, just ever so gingerly just goes. And it points down. Points downwards. What did you say, native friend? We were just trying to be amicable here.
I need you to come with me.
Oh, okay.
I don't necessarily need you, but I guess you can tag along.
Oh.
Would you, if you're fine to study here,
I keep reading.
I'll be right back, okay?
Can I send Cyrus with you?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I like little things.
Little kitty
Oh, little
trumps
thing.
after you.
Give me a friend. Thanks. You and Alma start walking down this way. I don't suppose my sins are about to be answered for, are they?
We're about to figure out how to put a bunch of cables in you.
That is right. So that was your part of the mission, okay. Oh, I hope this won't be too invasive. I'm trying to think of a role that has anything to do with like machinery, like putting, because this is D&D's so fantasy based. Like maybe like a craft, like with a craftsman kit kind of thing, but you need.
Yeah, you'd have tinkering tools, smith tools. You'd have a bunch of tool proficiencies you could do. Church has none of them.
From these series of events, you're brought all the way back up to this room with the servers and whatnot. You meet the fellow that was there, eventually printed off a bunch of these schematics with how the power system here works, how everything goes. Between you and Amba here, we're just going to try to find a basis of... Let's both roll intelligence here. I can pull you up if you need to.
No.
Oh.
So if you double click it, it turns on with the laser and the
Church
flash.
picks up the schematics, looks over them, raises an eyebrow, not understanding any of it, and sets it back down. That's a 2.
Thankfully, I rolled a nat 20. My intelligence probably isn't very high, though. Oh, it's not bad. Okay. Just a +2, though. I look at this with, like,
With the black light?
honestly, when I worked a lot designing this, if the transformers in this place work similarly, I could probably easily
I don't know what you're laughing at.
find a
so I
way to
can't
adapt
fucking
this
see
to
it.
here. I would just need to make some tinkers from here. I can do this, but the issue would be we're going to need a lot of people in order to keep these.
Also made me deaf somehow. You have to speak up.
According to these schematics, and what we have already looked over with me and Ember, even if this was running at full power, I could maybe keep this running for 20 minutes. Oh, sorry. I fucked that up. Breaking character, rewinding. I could maybe keep this running for 20 seconds.
Oh.
We need at least a minute. So in order for this to be a thing, we would need additional voltage generated. We would need to assemble an an outside source to add to the generators here.
So what do we use someone with electrical power?
It may be archaic, but I mean we could also try manual generation. I mean there are plenty of people here. If we all want to hop over, maybe a couple people turn a couple cranks. You know, like a human hamster wheel. Is it not? May take a day or two to set up, a way for multiple people to hand create enough kinetic energy to keep this going on top of the power that is automatically generated from here.
It's just turning to the last episode of Kill la Kill.
Just a huge freaking person shield.
Everybody's running on that fucking treadmill, keeping the ship going.
Honestly, at this point, that might be our best option. If we're going to do this in a couple days, maybe we put everyone to work. Perhaps this is something we bring back to Dogma?
We'll probably need to hear it regardless.
I agree. I'm assuming you are overseeing the power side of this. I'm going to go back down to my field and work from there. Several hours pass here, and we're kind of able, with newfound information amongst us all, able to, at least temporarily between our research and whatnot, reconvene back at Dogma's cabin with kind of what we figured out. Doing this for brevity's sake, saving us the communication.
I like to think that Beckett and Dogma are just about getting drunk, just like in celebration of just like, we fucking did it.
So yeah, many of these groups, Churchill with all these blueprints here, Amba and Ember here with these huge books that they're just kind of carrying with them here. And you have the freaking three of you guys coming, you guys super close together here. Just like, what are we even doing? We just had a weird conversation with a witch.
Yeah, I feel like we accomplished the least of everybody.
I don't know about
we
that.
just gotta make one deal and we're good to go.
True.
And all we have to do is go night-night to do that.
What do you mean?
I mean,
We
it's probably
fucking
gonna
did it. How did everyone else do? We nailed ours.
Who the fuck
We've
knows
got
who
best day ever.
consequences?
Oh, that's
Oh.
that's her person.
Who's consequence?
So like, this is the first thing you say when we all reconvene?
Yeah.
My blood.
That's
just
her
The
drains from my
consequences of
face.
our actions?
That's her
I don't know.
person? Is
No,
that
no,
like a-
Something like that.
So Luau said that
Luau.
that whatever would say they are willing
Person's
to help
name.
us.
You need to say it correctly.
They'd be willing to help us if we
Yes, the
like
person who killed my friend.
facilitate a meeting between them and this
I don't care if they're my
consequence
enemy, I still
individual.
want to say their name
I
correctly.
don't think we want that to happen.
Why not? Who is this person?
Consequence is someone that you make a deal with in order for you to gain something, but they will take something from you.
That
So they're a
is
devil.
typically how deals
So,
work.
My consequence.
That
You're,
is-
you're exactly right. They're
that
usually
is
balancing the
literally
things on
hear
either
what I
side.
fucking
Just
did
the
or not?
arrangement.
Yes.
I
You want
was
to
about
fucking
to
hear what I
say.
did or not?
Yes. Please continue, sir.
Or do you want to keep talking over me?
Come on, let's go.
Holy shit.
So in order for me, don't do that. Don't wave your shaved ass little paw.
I have some hair.
It's pretty shameful.
like that's.
It's like a,
Patchy.
it's like you're like a freaking dog with a little mane, your body all pink.
Aww. You got mange.
But yes.
I thought we were super serious there for all that shit.
I was.
Oh, okay.
That's Ember.
Okay.
So in order for my like fire armor that I've used a few times, I don't use it too often. Oh my god, Glorious is the one that paid for that.
Glorious.
And
And the
I
price
guess you don't know
was-
Glorious. Well, Glorious, as far as we know, is still in the hospital, hanging on for dear life. due to this big fight that we had, he essentially almost sacrificed himself for it.
You didn't have to go.
I'm at this point.
I don't know how it ties
I'm just trying to make sure I'm connecting the dots here. So, to your
I do
best
like this because
understanding,
the
has
more-
no idea. Like
Yeah.
Fulton doesn't know.
The
but
more-
I don't know what's happening.
so to the best we can grapple here, you asked this consequence for some fire armor.
For something to help protect myself.
Okay, fair
If
enough.
I were
fair enough.
to ask to protect more people, the consequences would
Okay.
have been bigger.
And there,
effective
and
ones.
somehow in the grand scheme of that, you are not sure how Gloria seemed to have paid the price.
Yeah.
Oh, were you given an option to pass that price off? Like, was consequence like, hey, you can set the price, you can pass the buck?
No, it was.
Consequence
I found
just said,
him, I
"Hey."
make the deal. There was like,
Did consequence
Almost
let you
no
know there would be
backing
a
out.
price to the deal?
yeah, it's consequence. That's his name.
But he just did not elaborate. They did just not elaborate on what that price is.
He said like I said, the more people that I would ask to protect
Okay,
or get the deal for, the more it would affect.
I'm grasping that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, was
so
that
like
as
the bigger
spec-
thing you ask
Yeah,
for, the bigger the consequence.
I'm just asking,
is gonna be.
was that
The
as
larger it is, the
elaborative as
larger
he
the
got
price.
on the price?
What was your question?
Is that like as much? Is that as deep as he elaborated on the price? Was just ask for more stuff, cost bigger. We never got actually breaking down what he meant by cost.
He wouldn't tell me.
Okay, I'm gonna back burner that.
I will say I did offer up something from myself.
Okay.
He would not take that.
Fair enough. Well, again, that's how demons work. That all being said,
He should know since he has one in his hand.
exactly, legitimately, exactly. You make a deal. There's a lot of things. It's complicated.
Maybe
No,
you
no.
can make a deal to get the demon out,
I-
and in
I-
place get a new demon.
Listen, I'll be honest. I'm not against it.
Consequence meets silence. Silence meets pain.
Oh my
Pain.
god.
Not against it. More importantly, I just want. I don't disagree that that sounds like an individual to not just expose
No, that makes
everyone.
Mhm.
However, we're not the ones making any sort of deal with it.
I mean, you already made a deal with someone, and you're doing
Again,
that.
yeah, I know. I'm dealing with the consequences of those actions.
Oh, look at that.
They're pretty great.
This is the
And by that I mean
craziest
it sucks.
In
conversation
fairness,
I've
in
ever
this
heard
situation,
before.
it sounds like we want to be the person making the deal because they're not the ones who suffer the consequences.
I'm honestly
That's
kind of
what
with that. I
flies
am. It sounds like consequence kind of fucks up someone else.
we
which-
need to
Okay,
be the
but
people that make the
think
deal,
of-
Yeah,
so
I'm
then
cool.
everybody else.
Exactly. No, I'm
Okay, guys,
right there
think
with you. on that.
about, okay, if Ember is willing to offer part of herself, then it's not a very big consequence, is it?
Cool. Then I just told consequence I'm willing to give something up, and then he passes the buck off to
Okay,
somebody
but
else.
I'm assuming
But that was
Did
somebody I
this
knew. That was someone I had a relationship with.
cosmic demon can sense a little bit more about you than whatever the fuck you can spew out of your stupid mouth.
Nonetheless, that's honestly, as much as I'm gonna be offended at this moment, it's a valid point.
I mean, do it. Go
But-
for
well,
it.
No, but still, again, beyond all this,
I don't want to be his
we're just introducing Lua.
You won't, because
I'm trying to get this right. I'm trying to get this right. I'm not trying to be a dick.
I'm trying
I'm not trying to be glib. Sometimes I am. So if Lua just wants to be introduced to consequence, I mean that's all we have to do. What happens after that is not on us.
Why does Lua want to be?
I don't know, and I didn't ask.
Oh, she probably doesn't give a fuck what happened.
Probably not. She seems very sociopathic.
So in
She has
that
the
case,
trademark traits of a
She doesn't
sociopath.
give
Which
a
is
fuck.
why-
That is
Okay,
a bad
which
idea.
means
That is a bad
that
idea.
most likely she's gonna reap the problems for that. If you're a nice person who cares about people, then he probably hurts people you care about. If you're a piece of shit narcissist who only cares about yourself, he's probably gonna like make her really ugly or something.
Maybe a little
We're-
bit more.
we're going
Give her
off
an
of
STD. I don't
We're
fucking
going
know.
off of the assumption that she's gonna ask him for something and not try to trick him into doing whatever the fuck
Yeah.
she wants. Though.
I think you're giving her a
Wouldn't
lot of
Both
credit.
of those things probably result in a bunch of people getting hurt.
100%.
Yes. 10,000%.
Like, if she tricks him into doing something, that's still going to result in people getting
You
hurt.
gotta say
Yeah.
2,000.
I was just agreeing with you in affirmation. That's it. Not everything's a dick measuring contest. That being said, I bring this up because Lua says the only way they will help us is through that chain. If we can't guarantee to facilitate that connection,
So
they are out.
What if we can guarantee not to kill her?
You can listen. You can run that section of the deal by her. I don't know if you care about that.
She also wants me to be on the town council.
Oh yeah. Also, there's that's what I'm more excited about here.
I mean,
Melody's been asked to essentially join. Melody's been asked to join a town council to protect some riffraff. I think we should do it. I have some great campaign ideas. I have an entire booklet of a rundown of how we can fix problems.
I only
I've been waiting to
agreed.
institute it.
I only agreed because she said I can do it my way, which means I don't have to wear a fucking blazer.
hell
Look,
yeah.
also,
Oh,
I
wearing
feel like
Just walks over the bar.
I feel like you
pours
should take a.
Stiff actually just I don't know what the
Dogma
fuck is going on.
joins you. He's like, what? I don't have no idea. What
Look,
this
I
guy
feel
does.
like we should set up a two-way communication. I can be like the guy in your ear feeding you your lines.
I'm
you
a
know?
natural born leader.
Yeah, but I can
So-
help.
I like that you can't finish that line without
Melody's
laughing.
Good.
Wait,
That's
you
just
hey, you
me.
keep complaining it's been a long time since a classic Modern Melody mess around. Would this not be a really good one?
I don't
Oh
need you
my
to tell me what to
God.
say. Why don't you just be like my bodyguard?
Ooh.
You're
Bodyguard.
tall.
Oh.
Good.
Give yourself
I
inspiration.
was gonna say I give the DM inspiration.
No.
Well, I'll use it against you.
Use it against Fulton.
As beyond all of the fantastic conversation, if we're not willing to facilitate a meeting between Lua and Consequence, we need to find a different way to get Amba Bird's idea. Or I will let any of you in this room here that did not already have a conversation, or did if you guys want to go for a different angle,
Is this
have a discussion with Lua and come to a different deal.
just
Can I-
exactly how evil is this Lua person?
I mean, you
Fucking
guys
know.
didn't give a shit about bringing her on this boat, so clearly you're not that
She
concerned.
can't be that evil.
I mean, she's a right cunt, but that's
I mean,
else.
so are most of you.
Quick
I'm okay with
question.
you all.
I mean, she killed our
Can I borrow one of your
I
phones?
didn't have said that.
Do the phones have service here?
Does he get a flip
Depends
phone
on
or a
your
Nokia?
generation.
Which one does he get?
Like,
Which phone does he get?
if I grab two phones, can I call one phone with the other and it picks
Cre-
up?
How are you gonna find out the number of one?
I'll go into the about section
Here,
and
text
there's a
each of them to my
spot
tablet.
that
and then...
says
Okay,
like,
for
phone.
brevity's sake, sure.
So I can like call one and the other one rings.
In this environment, yeah.
So can I look and see if there's like a FaceTime video chat function on these phones?
When you start rolling like grades for
Um,
phone week,
I'm just
Are you
intrigued at
this
this
at
point.
this
Wait, we
day and
have a
age,
rant-
it's-
a
it's-
ra-
that's archaic
Like a
technology.
rating.
It's probably on there.
Okay.
We have a random
Look, check this out.
phone.
Amba,
Table.
look at this phone. I video chat and turn the camera to the other side. Amba, look at your phone. Can you see everything through this phone? Can we tie this onto the fucking bird and just have the bird look at it?
But I mean, like, how far does the
I-
signal
Like I said,
out
it depends
though?
on how far away this goes.
I can't.
Yeah.
I just.
Like-
Again, I just want to point
Can
out
we
my
just-
first idea
I
was
love that we never
build
used
some
these
kind of a
phones, like
camera for the
phones
bird
before.
and have a video streams for the bird. I just want to
I'm-
point out that was my first idea I ever brought up.
While Chizamar is ranting, I'm going to polymorph
It's exactly
into
correct.
something that flies and some kind of bird.
If you polymorph, don't you take the
You
Yeah,
do take
you're
the
just
mental
as
stats.
dumb as it.
you take
But-
the mental statistics?
Ooh, I'm
I
a
know,
pigeon.
but
Ooh, I'm
you
gonna change you to a moth.
Yes.
but you
Never
still
mind, I'm
know
flawed.
your intention. Like you,
Yes.
you can still
Yeah.
follow your intention. And so I'm gonna go up and just peck
I
at
mean-
Beckett until he attaches the phone to me.
I would just add if we're going on bird intelligence here, just be a crow or a raven. They're very intelligent.
I mean, I could also just make Cyrus a bird if we're gonna just.
I've already
I tie a phone onto one of her legs. Just like, go bird,
It's just swinging.
fly away.
Is there a way? Is there like
Is there
a
an easy way
window
for
or
a bird to
something?
fly out of here?
You have to go through the sand. You need a piece of the cloth on you.
Oh.
Got some extra cloth on her now?
I'm just gonna like fly up and sit on Chiz's shoulder and just peck at his face until he figures it out.
Nice.
We got some cloth on her now?
Don't ask me. You may. Oh, you're talking to Jarmy.
Jeremy, we got some cloth on her now? I'm sorry, I'm looking the same direction on who I'm talking
Just
to.
getting confused.
I should lay out who I'm talking to. Diarmy, do we have some cloth lying around?
We always have cloth lying around.
Small scrap, please.
Yeah, give me a moment. Alright. Sorry, I'm getting a little tipsy.
No,
I
you're
like
good.
to think that all of my animals are red.
Thank you.
I like
I'm
that
gonna
hair.
crumple up a small amount and like lightly pry open your beak and just put it in the beak. Alright, Bird's gonna go.
To bring it out into the hallway and go out through the
Alright, I'll direct the bird where the bird needs to go. Go, Bird!
So suddenly, you fly just through it. You just burst through the desert floor, and now are just flying through an open desert.
Is the ship moving?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Good to know.
Be ready to dive back in very fast.
Oh no.
I don't think the bird's gonna move that fast.
That's
what he was trying to
dive back in
say.
very fast.
Oh,
Alright, real fast.
That's how we lose Melody.
How good
just George just
And-
standing there smoking a cigarette as
We
Jizamar
will
throws it.
End
The ship's
session
moving.
there.
Oh, no. Oh, Melody's gone.
No
Yeah.
dimension door.
Gone
Maybe.
forever.
I'll go get Lua.
Yeah, but how, yeah, but and it's scene. And how fast are we moving?
Oh, fast.
This
Pretty
ship.
fast.
This is
Very quickly.
60 miles an hour just to
Yeah,
barely
60
keep
miles
up
is
with
what
the
he said.
ship.
Yeah, like the bird is gonna pop out and need to basically dive bomb back in, and maybe.
Well, that's using
We'll get
the
lucky.
archaic firepower of it. It's actual
God, I'm
arcane
so
stuff.
sorry.
It's moving way quicker than that. Yeah.
Bullet train speed.
Yeah, it's cruising. Well, I compared it earlier. It's like grabbing a fish and slipping it forward.
How long
That's how
before she looks at it and it's just, oh shit.
Oh, she's a bird. Who knows?
God.
An hour.
It's just suddenly
It's laying in the gray sand and die out there. Oh my god.
I still have the little thing in my mouth.